Ayy, this ain't a drill. Only time I'm playing is on the field. When I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. You know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Miss. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field. And our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, baby. Who with me? Who ready to win this game?
Let's get it.
Who ready to win this game?
I'm ready, man.
Yo,
I'm ready.
I got my voice back. I'm ready to go. I'm still waiting on a phone call from somebody who think that the Bills gonna take a dive.
McDermott for governor. All I can say is, hey,
Hey,
let's go Buffalo.
Let's go, Buffalo.
Hey. And I'm gonna tell you right now. While you're queuing up whatever you're queuing up, it's the Friday before the game. The Friday before the big dance. Why are you two wearing red? Anyway.
we allowed to wear. Wait.
Who we playing on Sunday? This is a cardinal sin. But anyway, where else
This
would
is
you
a
rather
Bills
be?
hat.
Where would you rather be than right here, right now?
Okay, two things we got to do. First things first. We need clap it up. Just clap it up. The last episode of the Post Podium Podcast hit a great milestone. We got over 100 views.
Oh, I had a tear.
Yo.
I had a tear. So
I
thank you.
texted you a tear emoji.
You did. And I was sitting there. I was at work. I don't care. I'm so happy I was at work. Damn it. I was sitting like this. Oh, y'all can wait. Hold on a second. Okay. 99. I was like, hey, please, if it just goes to 100, I'll put it down. Let it go. I feel like it was a telethon, didn't you? I was like, oh, man.
We just need one more, folks. One
Right.
more view.
One more.
Right.
I'm a little teapot. Irv Weinstein coming back. One more. I'm a little teapot. Let's do this thing. Then it went to 100, and I lost my mind.
That's what's up, man.
I lost my mind
That's what's up.
because
Shout out to the viewers, man.
we worked hard. And this is not for us to puff our chest.
Right.
This is to let us know that 100 people are rocking with us, continual growth.
Right.
Rocking with us.
We give y'all that content that y'all want to see.
That's
that
all
y'all
we're
want to
trying to
hear,
do.
man.
That's all we're trying to do. And as long as we get some heads and seats, hey man, I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah, man. See, all the other podcasts, all the other shows, they don't have the all truth, no sodium. It's mad sodium in those podcasts.
It's mad sodium.
Or those shows, man. They got mad sodium in there. Here, we 100% truth, man.
And some be mad lazy. They tell you, I decided not to do it last Thursday because, well, I didn't feel like it. No, I'm tired as crap right now. But I feel like doing this today.
Hey,
and I hope you guys feel like being here with us.
Yeah. I was literally home for like 15 minutes all day.
Yo,
But we here.
We here.
We here. Just don't zoom in on my eyes. They gonna be red like y'all shirts. But
I was actually able to get a coffee in today. I finished working about 12. I got home, took about a good hour nap, woke up, drank some coffee, went out, snow blowed around the house because I didn't do it last night. It was still snowing. I refused. And after that, I think is getting ready to come here because I typically shoot a podcast before this. It's part of the reason we were so late today, getting in for this podcast. But the second thing, forget all the noise about the Bills defense being vulnerable this week because injury this, injury that. We got boys practicing this week.
But the thing is, haven't we proven already that excuse is not valid?
100%.
We've already proved it unequivocally. Supercalifragilisticexpialidociously. That's how we did this thing right here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about offense, defense, and your favorite and mine, special teams.
Teams.
But let's go into stuff we heard. Mel, you want to go first?
Man, I heard something that kind of irked me. So they were saying that, man, this is the Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen game. This is the Brady and Manning. And somebody was like, oh, well, I feel like Brady and Manning was more Joe Burrow and Pat Mahomes. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, they're not giving us no credit because they said, yeah, y'all 3-1 since that 17-second game, 13-second game against KC, but y'all never beat them in the playoffs.
You talking about Peyton Manning?
Yeah,
I don't care because I will beat Eli. Because what Eli do?
Well, what people don't realize is Peyton Manning
Peyton and Brady.
No, I know.
Peyton Manning
What
had
I'm
a winning
saying
record
is-
in the playoffs against Brady.
What I'm saying is, what did Eli do? Eli fell to Giant.
He beat him twice.
I don't mind being the guy that falls to Giant.
Exactly.
So screw all that noise. See, I'm the
Exactly.
guy that don't care about this stuff because like I'm a small town guy. We win. I don't care what you say.
Right.
Right.
They say Jokic is a bum. They say all these guys who win it that aren't the tops are bums. But guess what? You got a ring. Your city is number one.
Yeah.
Guess what? It happens. Underdogs do persevere sometimes.
Yes, sir.
I don't mind.
And here's the crazy part: we the overdog. We the overdog right now, man. So I don't know how people doubt us. I get it. I'm not gonna lie. I would feel more comfortable if Bernard and all my starters were playing. I would feel more comfortable. But like you just attest to, it's not that we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not throwing no salt on the KC. Like I respect them. I just think we better than them. Point blank period. I think we the better team, especially at our house.
Don't get me misconstrued. I'm still nervous as usual. Who would I be if I wasn't nervous? But
Right.
but I got a different swagger today. I got a very different swagger today. And I can't wait to go through it because we're gonna talk about a couple of misconceptions out there.
So I just confirmed we are gonna have my boy Rich, not the Rich that goes in the comments, but my other boy Rich. He's a I don't know if he's a Chiefs fan, but he's a Brady fan. He's been a fan of Brady and the Patriots for years. He knows the Gronkowskis personally. But he's got a perspective on this game that I think we need to as a Bills podcast. I feel like we need to put this in perspective and make sure that we have a clear understanding because there is a lot of noise that Chiefs fans are trying to make and fans of Mahomes are trying to make about why the Bills are going to lose this game. We gonna give the folk their chance to explain themselves, and then we gonna put it into perspective, and we gonna make sure that it comes out. The truth comes out in the wash, and that's our only goal. Again, like you said at the beginning of the show, we say this for a reason. All truth, no sodium. The goal is to get to the bottom line, right? We don't try to slant statistics. We don't whatever the most clear-cut, honest statistics are and what they show. It is what it is, right? So with that being said, in about 15 minutes, we'll have Rich on a phone call, and we'll see what he has to say. I did not write any questions today because I think everything is about this Chiefs matchup, and I'm ready to get into every single reason why I believe the Bills have the potential to dominate this game.
Okay. And I do think we need to make a correction on the last show. We erroneously said that Patel played. He didn't play in the last game.
He did not play. That's right.
So
That's right. He was hurt.
And CEH that played. But they did very good. They did very well. And that leads me to a question I have for you guys.
Okay.
We're very familiar with the guy. Dread swinging. Applebee's loving. Number 23, Mr. Lynch.
Beast mode.
Is Patel the next beast mode?
Hey, so watching Pacheco run, he run hard.
He run. That's
I like
what
the way
I'm
he
saying. When I
run,
watch
man.
him play, when I really looked at him playing, I said, "Wow, he likes contact.
Yeah.
He doesn't go down easy. He fights off tackles.
Yep.
He's fast.
Yep.
I can see it.
I think he's still too light.
Yeah.
He runs angry like Beast Mode did, but I think like Beast Mode was a different monster. When you saw people make contact with Beast Mode, every single time they made contact with him, they were going backwards and he was going forward.
That's true.
There was never a point in time where somebody went head to head with Beast Mode and Beast Mode went backwards or was stopped. Yeah. Like I've seen people stand up Pacheco.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can even see the difference. Like below the waist, he looks like he's got that kind of power. But above the waist, you just don't see it as much. So maybe if he puts some more weight on, but I can't say he's at that level yet.
You just like putting people. How much you want him to weigh?
No, I just
240, 250.
I think it's just the point. Like, I remember when Marshawn ran, he right. Like, I don't remember ever seeing one person take him down.
No.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Pacheco, I've seen it happen. Like, even though he run hard and he run tough, one person could take him down by himself.
I mean, I guarantee you it's happened. I can't tell you I remember a time because if I said that, you know I'm lying because I don't remember much from anything.
Right.
But I mean, when I watch him run, the breakaway, the fearlessness when it comes to contact, the way it sounds when he gets hit,
Yeah.
it's the closest thing I've seen to beast mode in pretty much ever.
The one thing I like about too is he got that burst. I see a lot of running backs when they run. Sometimes that burst is not there all the time. Every time Pacheco run, I see that burst out of him every time. So I don't know, man. Like, first time he playing the Bills, Bernard might not play. I don't know, man. I don't know. It gets me a little nervous, but
You know, and I got another thing for you. We talked about it. We were at the Bills game. What was it, the Miami game? When it was cold and the people were asleep ahead of us?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, they double fisting beers left and right. How much beer you think they drink at this thing? How much money did they make?
Man, they got to – you figure every year the price of beer go up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you're right. I be seeing people with 2 cans in their hand.
Yep.
And they constantly going back for more.
That's the only way to do it, 2 at a time. I don't know how.
They going back for more too, man.
I don't want to fall asleep at the game.
Man,
But the reason why I bring that up, there was a funny stat that I saw earlier today I thought you would enjoy. The Baltimore Ravens, right? They are known to eat 30 to 60 Uncrustables a day.
What?
7,500 Uncrustables a season.
What is up with the people?
I don't know why
They
they
just
like
like
Uncrustables so
Uncrustables?
much. I have no idea.
Wow.
what's their obesity ratio over there?
I want to know how many Lamar eats. Because that might be why he's so fidgety.
Hey, he definitely burning a lot of them off though.
Yeah. I don't know what the obesity rating is over there or why they're so stuck on Uncrustables.
Uncrustables.
But remember when we had what was that? Was that a Chiefs game where it was they had the delay and everybody was complaining about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Was that the Chiefs or who was that?
Oh, yeah.
It still was all peanut butter, no jelly, just like T-Mix. I mean, she does. She actually yells at me when you can't see the bread through the jelly anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, I'm good.
Peanut butter jelly time.
peanut butter time.
Is it the straight grape jelly, or they got like do they put their own little spin on it, or it's just like
No,
the
it's
regular
how it comes, the
Smucker's
Uncrustables.
Uncrustables?
It's just Uncrustable, probably out the box. Defrost it, let it happen.
Man,
And in sad news, the Falcons asked the permission of the Bills to interview Joe Brady.
Wow.
Now, this is reminiscent of Dayball because this happened before. If you know anything, you don't have to ask permission for this interview. But if it's during the season, you do. So that means that they're very interested in Joe Brady.
100%. 100%.
But that takes me back to what I was saying before. In 7 years of Josh Allen, 7 years next year, Stephon Diggs in the contract, James Cook another year under his belt. At some point, it's not going to collapse because you have another offensive coordinator. I expect him to be able to run a system, comparable. Because look at what we did with Brady. Brady didn't institute his whole system in his offense. If you go out there and bring somebody in, they should be able to assimilate what they do to what we did best. And that does not involve Gabe Davis. I'm sorry, playoff Gabe.
Yeah.
So all right, so let me ask you this though: if I'm Joe Brady, since he took over the saying they only lost 1 game since he's been the offensive coordinator. But my only thing is, do you think for him it will be too soon? Because think about it, he didn't even really have time to develop his system and integrate his system into the offense, right? So really, he's took Dorsey's system and kind of just manipulated it to fit our strong points and our key points, but technically he really didn't have the time to develop his own offense. So do you think it's premature, it's too early for him to leave? Or if I'm Joe Brady, let me submit myself and let me instill my offense next year, and then, or would you say, hey, this is my opportunity, I got to take it right now?
Me personally, you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, and plus you got to remember, he was offensive coordinator at LSU, offensive coordinator at Charlotte. This is the farthest thing from his offense. His offense is Air Coryell. That's what he's got his bases in, which is deep. Everything fast, deep. Go to Atlanta, you get a chance to get your quarterback. You get a chance to
got a
build
tight
around
end
that
that's
guy.
fast and go
you got
deep.
a tight end. You got a running back.
Yep.
It's tough.
And I will say they have not been using Pitts
at all.
at all well. I don't know. I don't know
They say
how
that's
they
why
missed on
that's
that
why
one.
Arthur Smith got fired. Is
Yeah.
because they just weren't using
That's
him.
crazy to
You,
me.
you
man.
take a tight end, what, number 5 or 6 or whatever it was, and you don't use them. That's blasphemy.
Right.
So yeah, that's the easiest way they got to do it.
I would hate to see him go, bro.
Yeah, but here's where I take solace. You got to look at while I'm actually giving Sean credit, so y'all need to mark this down. Ceremonious
I'm
moment.
bracing.
January 19th,
Right. Mark it down,
6:52.
Mark it down.
Aaron Misgave, Sean McDermott.
Sean was wise enough to move away from Rick Dennison and on to Brian Daboll. He was also wise enough to move off of Ken Dorsey and on to Joe Brady. So I think he's now seen 2 separate occasions where there are elite offensive play callers and how they can affect your superstar quarterback and the players and the rest of the players on your offense.
Yeah.
So I think he has enough experience around those kinds of guys to know how to find another one if he needs to.
True.
So I would say, I think we'll be okay if that's the case.
Yeah, and it kind of like I said, I kind of answered my own question. He hasn't had time to develop his offensive scheme.
Yeah.
Right. So like he's doing good already now.
Exactly.
So just imagine if we had somebody with that time to develop an offensive scheme to fit our players. Yeah, we'll probably be all right.
And I mean, you have an offensive mind that works with Josh, an offensive mind that at the very least will listen to what he likes and what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
And then incorporate that like Brady did. That's what Brady did. You know, there were some things that he said, we got to do this because, even though you're not that comfortable with it or you don't really like it. But there's a lot of things that he did and he took out of the playbook because Josh said, I don't like that. I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable. Yeah. It's not, it's not effective for me. But moving on from that point, a segue, you heard what's going on in New England. Your boy Bill O'Brien took the job, offensive coordinator job at Ohio State.
Wow.
Yeah, he went lateral with a level below. I mean, Ohio State is fine, but you're not going to have their bell cow. You're not going to have Marvin Harrison. So, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you got and I don't watch a lot of college, but you got to figure Harbaugh's probably not coming back. Nick Saban is gone. So in another 2 years or something like that, Ohio State is probably going to be top dog in that.
Yeah. No. I mean, it. I don't know if he was ever going to be. Well, I doubt he was ever going to be a head coach anywhere. But I'm sure somebody in the NFL would love to have him as their OC. So that was fast. I would have waited and probably to the end of the season, see what's there before I go.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're going back to your old division. You was at Penn State. He's going back to where he was before, basically, and he knows the lay of the land. So I mean, I get it.
Yeah. And I'm not saying this to disagree. Maybe, and I'm speculating, obviously, but maybe the thought was, if you look at who all the head coaches are that are available right now, almost all of them are, defensive. There's one guy in particular that's part of the Belichick tree, and then there is the Belichick tree itself, right?
Yeah.
So two of your options are going, taking a step back into the past.
Yo, you're right.
And then the other guys are who? Arthur Smith, the guy who Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley.
Who else?
Maybe Frank Reich again.
Frank Reich. So I mean, who you really gonna,
Is the college coach competitive to the NFL pay? Like, is it astronomical or no?
No, it's not much of a difference. I mean, a couple million.
So money wise, he really not missing nothing.
Nah, I mean, unless he got bills to pay. You're talking about I'm losing $2 million, but I'm still making $4 or $5 million, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Because you figure the head coach at UV's making like $500,000-$600,000, $400,000 to $600,000. But the head coach of Alabama, you're about 10.
Right.
Even James Franklin over at Penn State, he signed a 10-year, $72 million contract.
Dang.
And that was 5 years ago. So, not to pirate this on college talk, but yeah, I mean, it if you don't have bills to pay, you can still afford that Bentley with that contract.
All right. What do we have left? Because we're moving up on time here.
We talked about Uncrustables. They're delicious. Oh yeah, I sent you guys the video on Instagram. Yo, Cats Yossi's gonna be buffed, polished, heated. You gonna be good when you go on Sunday.
Did you see that joint?
The line is around the corner. I sent it to your wife. around the court. They got shovels in hand.
Yeah, I saw that.
They man.
yeah.
They don't even want to get paid. They want to. They just want to see the Chiefs play in Buffalo. They don't want no excuse.
Right.
They want every seat empty so they can all sit down.
So last week, I heard they gave 20 bones an hour, plus they fed them, plus they got tickets. So, like, that's not a bad deal, bro.
You can't. They're not giving
can't
tickets
beat
this time.
that.
They're not giving tickets this time.
Yo,
Ain't
think
no way.
so?
No,
Ain't no way. They ain't got nothing to give. Ain't no way.
Everybody going to.
Yeah, people gonna be sitting by the lights where the fireworks go off. People gonna be sitting over there hanging on the pole. Oh, it's gonna be on. It's gonna be. I'm telling you, it's gonna be rocking.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that crowd, bro.
It's gonna. We
I
take
can't
your
wait to hear
earplugs.
that crowd. I can't
Take your
wait, man.
earplugs.
Ooh, I can't wait.
And somebody, if you, I mean, this is a weird request, but out of 75,000 people, if you have a decimeter, take it and let me know what the count is, because I want to know how loud it got in there officially. I really do.
Yeah.
So if you got a decimeter, take it in there.
I think I'm with you on that one. I want to know too.
I want to see the stadium move over about 2 feet, slide over about 2 feet based on the sound alone.
Yo, didn't Seattle actually make an earthquake? It was so loud
Yeah,
in there.
a minor earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I-
crazy. We
I
got
would
to.
love to do that, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We got to do that.
And I want to know why when they tested here, why they did it with the Patriots when Brady was playing. That was just dumb. That was dumb because they were trying to see if we were the loudest fan base.
Against Brady?
Right.
Crickets.
Right. What
was
we going to
pathetic.
say with Brady after he
It was
done beat us for
pathetic.
the last 15 years?
I don't know what they were thinking about.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Did you see Sam Acho and LaShawn McCoy's little bit on what is that? That's not for which show are they on?
Speak.
Okay. They went down a list of, who had the best offense.
Mm-hmm.
And they both said the Bills.
The Bills.
Bills.
They said who's got the better quarterback. They both said
The Bills.
They ain't say Pat Mahomes.
they said the Bills.
In terms of, so the question was who has the edge right now in this game, right?
okay,
And so
okay.
when you say edge, who's playing better, who's
Right.
got the better advantage,
that's-
it's
that's
obviously the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
And this is where I perked up a bit.
What about the
did you see this?
defense?
What?
The LaShawn McCoy, God bless his heart, he said the Patriots had the better X
Chiefs.
factor.
The Chiefs.
I'm sorry, the Chiefs. He might have said the Patriots. No, he said Travis Kelce was X factor. Fine.
Right.
My man Sam Acho, which I've never claimed in my life, said James Himbo Cook.
Is the X Factor?
It's the X Factor.
Himbo
He sure
Cook.
did.
Wow.
He sure
Hemi.
did.
Himmy Cook himself is our X factor. You my man, Acho. You my man. You and your suits, your muscles, your haircut. With you that guy. So I mean, I was excited by that. And the last thing I have, just a little dumb trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know what the Chiefs were called before they were the Chiefs?
Before they're called
Oh,
the
this should be
Chiefs?
good.
Ooh. You going back to the AFL days.
I'm going back. I'm going back to the troglodyte days. Yes, Mom, I said that.
The troglodyte days.
I don't know.
You
I
don't know?
give. I give.
The Dallas Texans.
What?
The Dallas Texans until the 1963 season. I bet Rich don't know that.
Probably not. Probably not. The Dallas Texans?
The Dallas Texans until 1963.
So they moved from Dallas to Kansas City. And then,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Dang.
wow. They went from Cowboys to Indians real quick.
Which is funny, right? But which is funny because what did Dallas do, or what did Houston do? They went from the Texans, then they went up to the Titans. Now they Texans. So were they waiting for them to vacate Dallas so they could be the Cowboys? And now they
Yeah, because
Yeah.
back in the day, there was the Oilers.
right.
And then Tennessee kind of took their franchise.
Right.
Then they came back. All right, we the Texans
We
now.
the Texans, and then here go. Texans like, yes, our time is here. And I had a question for you guys. Actually, this actually was a question I didn't come up with, but Z-Bot came up with it. I was listening last night. Say we win on Sunday. How pissed would you be if we lost to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship?
Again, for me, how we lost.
Really?
Yes. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I just can't say, oh, they lost or they suck. No, it's like, what caused us to lose that game? I have to look at that because that's what you got to base it on. You just can't say it don't matter how we win or how we lost. The point is, bottom line is we lost. Nah, for me, it's how we lost.
So I'll answer the question first. I think for me, I don't think I would be disappointed either way. I think considering what they did to get to that game, you have to give the team credit. They've done it with a skeleton defense. They've done it with a limited offense. And when I say limited, I mean limited in terms of what they can call, because the offensive scheme has had to be, semi-overhauled mid-season.
Right.
To the point now where you're kind of calling plays in spite of the playbook. you know what I'm saying? So I think with everything that's been against this team from the start, and a lot of it's self-inflicted, obviously. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around the real issues, but if they're going against the number 1 seed in the Baltimore Ravens, who have been a dominant team against playoff caliber teams that they've played this season, I don't know if I can fault that. To me, it would be the equivalent of the Buffalo Bills in the year 2020 getting to the AFC Championship game and losing. It's like, all right, well, at that point, you're playing with house money anyway.
Yeah.
I think I would be crushed.
Really?
You had to watch my wrist.
Either way,
You would have to watch my wrist. I wouldn't be mad at the Bills, but that'd be another team that usurped us, leapfrogged us, and got to the dance.
Yeah,
that
but
would hurt me.
oh, I see.
And that's the thing.
I don't know if they leapfrogged it. They've been there. It's just you got to look at it like this. The offense in Baltimore has been hamstrung by their offensive coordinator. And the 1 year that they decide to get rid of that guy and go get a real offensive coordinator, they are now the number 1 seed. So you can argue, had they had anything near what we've had or what the Chiefs have had over the last 3 years of Lamar Jackson's starting career, they would have been at that level regardless. And on top of that, Lamar Jackson won an MVP before Mahomes or Josh Allen did. Right? So if I'm looking at that, you can't say, it's another guy that leapfrog. Lamar Jackson has been great. He's been great since he stepped into the league, right? I think as a whole, seeing that it's a team aside from the Bengals and the Chiefs that have now made a Super Bowl. Okay, that would be frustrating because it's not the Bills, but you have to you can't, you're putting the Bills' loss into the vacuum of it's another team that got there before we did. But when you consider all the variables and you consider everything all together, I don't know how you can come away from that game with an L feeling like we should have dominated the Baltimore Ravens or we should have beat that team. We're undefeated against the Ravens in the playoffs. We own them the way that people say the Chiefs own us. Right? Yeah. I don't really mean own, but I mean we're undefeated against them. But I think with everything that the Bills have had to overcome this season, getting to that game and losing to that team and having that team be the team that beats us, I don't think anybody would blame the Bills for that.
I'm not blaming them. I still be pissed.
I'm right, and I'm in the middle.
Okay.
Because the age point is not like we losing to a crap team or a team who's not on the rise.
Losing to the Chiefs would be that.
No. See,
they have not played well at all this
year. I think I'm being misunderstood. See, it has nothing to do with performance. For me, we came back from 6-6. We are the division champion. We are number 2 in the AFC. We fell to a team that we couldn't fall. We beat them finally. Mm-hmm. Now it's not the Bengals. It's not Mahomes. Now it's freaking Lamar Jackson that's beating me.
So what you're saying is they keep moving the goalpost on us.
They keep moving it. To me, it's like if we come in this show on Monday, and I'm saying I got a feeling the Bills are going to. If I sing that song, I don't want Lamar Jackson taking that from me because you ever play Mario? Like my son, Ken, you know this. Listen tight. You want 8-1, Mario 1. You want 8-1. You on that last board. Mm-hmm. You got 2 lives left. Bing, you lost because you fell in the lava. Okay, Bing, you lost because you hit the fireball that came out of Bowser. Mm-hmm. And that last one, man, you got Luigi Punk, but jump over your head, hit the axe before you. Come on, man, let me just get one. I was so close.
The reason why I would feel bad is because even though they're a good team, they're not a good playoff team.
And
So like he was saying, like we've been to the playoffs, we've been here, we've been at the pinnacle, and now this team they didn't go last year. Like when was the last time they even been to the playoffs?
when we beat them.
That's what I'm saying. So for them to
Both times.
for them to come in and then beat us too, yeah, I would kind of
And
that would
for
hurt.
me, like,
That would hurt.
yeah, I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't come in here mad. So that's not what I'm saying. I would come here, I'd be upset. I'd probably be visibly upset.
Yeah.
If we beat the Chiefs. See, if we were playing against Houston and we beat Houston and then had to play Kansas City in the AFC and
Right.
lost, fine.
Right.
Because we've seen them in the Super Bowl before. I
Right.
don't want to see another team before me. I don't want to see another squad. I mean, they're number one. Yeah, they're better than us technically. They were what the first number one seed almost the whole season. Right. They got the MVP quarterback. But I just want to get there. I don't want Michael Jackson Super Bowl to be the last one I ever see in life. I don't want to remember the 52-17 loss to Dallas. I don't want that no more. I want this.
Right.
Who's on the NFC that could beat us?
Yeah.
Besides maybe the 49ers.
I'll say maybe San Fran, but who else?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. This is it. I'm tired of being on the unbeatable side.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an uncrustable.
I would love to see Bills and Lions, man. Two franchises that never won a Super Bowl. I would love that.
The laughing stock, the
love
only
that, man.
over there, only 0-16 team. Or did somebody else do it before them?
They did it in the recent era.
They did it
Yeah,
recently.
they did it
Recent
twice.
Matter of fact, you know what's funny about that? Me and Gordon went to the Bills Lions game. After that, it was blacked out. It was the nicest atmosphere ever. We suck, they suck. They're like, you guys are great. You're gonna be here. We're all like, you're gonna be good one day. You got it. They're like hugging and stuff. It's crazy. So like for that to come full circle to be both of us in the Super Bowl. But
I
see,
would love
if
that,
Lamar Jackson's punk butt getting the way it is, I will headbutt this table multiple times to try to get my point across. I'm hurt. I'm wounded. Send help.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Lamar, you a magnificent quarterback, but it's not your turn yet, man. It's not your
No,
turn.
it's definitely
It's
not.
not your turn.
You know how I
I
feel about
actually am
Lamar.
of the mindset that the Houston Texans are uniquely built to beat the Ravens. I think defensively the studs they have at the positions that they have. DeMeco Ryans is a great defensive coordinator. I think they'll be able to get one or two turnovers in that game. I don't think the receivers will have the kind of game that they had against even the 49ers. The 49ers don't have a great secondary. They have a great front seven that puts so much pressure on quarterbacks that they just can't get the ball anywhere. Right. But the Texans, they have a playmaker at safety. They got a playmaker at corner. They got a playmaker at pass rusher. They still got Jerry Hughes on that team that makes plays from time to time, right? So they have the right mix of studs and vets and scheme on that defense to be able to pose a threat to Lamar Jackson. Not only that, but they can keep up point for point with that Ravens offense, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the Texans are going to give them a game. I even am willing to to say that officially I think the Texans are going to win that game. So I'm fully expecting, like Uber is, that the Bills are going to have a home game next week after we beat the Chiefs, and we're going to host the AFC Championship game here against the Texans. That's my prediction for that.
Man, I love that. Ooh, I would love that.
Yeah. Christina says it's our year. Yes,
That's right.
Yes, it is.
So I got one more thing. Okay, this is the big things going around these days. Sean Hockey.
Ooh, the swole
Okay.
referee.
No, that's Ed. That's his dad.
Oh, that's his dad.
Sean the feeble one. Sean, he needs some push-ups or something. Everybody thinks we're screwed because we have him as a ref. Let me shed some light on this. In the games the Bills have played with Sean Hockey, who was a referee of the Eagles game. Okay.
Oh, he was the Eagles ref.
Now this is the kick. It's not the whole crew. It's just the same ref.
Oh.
He's not bringing the umps aren't the same. The lines they're not all the same.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's one instance. He doesn't call the whole game by himself. Okay. And also we're 1-3 in games where he's been refs. Might I draw your attention to these 3 games we lost? The Charles Clay game.
What was the Charles Clay game?
The only time Josh lost.
Dropped the ball right in his gut when Josh threw the ball right in his gut, and he dropped the ball.
Because he was trying to, he didn't think it was going to make it to the end zone. It was the end of the game.
Oh, the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's the only, was it the only one of 2 times Josh has lost in
in Miami.
obviously the Heat game, Heat Bowl and the catch.
Right.
That wasn't. Josh's first ever game. You remember how Josh got in the game?
Yeah, because Peterman threw all them picks
5 interceptions.
against the Ravens.
5 interceptions, a 47-10 game. What did Sean Hockley do there? Did he throw? did he throw the picks?
Right.
And obviously the last one was the Eagles game. Okay, fine. I'll give you that. That's debatable.
Okay. So really, he had one bad game against us.
One bad game.
He ref one bad game.
One bad game. And furthermore, let's see. I have stats for you. In Sean Hockley's games, 63% of the games the home team wins.
Yes. I like those odds.
That compares to the league average of 54.17%.
I like those odds.
He only has called 55% of his penalties on the visiting team. Or he has called. He's only called 45% on the home team. Lastly, he calls about half a penalty less on the home team compared to the league, and averages about 7 yards per penalty, 7 yards less per game against the home team.
I like those stats.
Okay. Yeah, right. So let's compare that to 2020, where Hockley is, I think it was his first and second year as the head ref. If you were playing at home with him as a ref, you were screwed. You had less than a 1 in 3 chance. He was at 29.33% for the home team winning in the games where he was a ref.
Wow.
So guess who ever heard of home field advantage? I'm pretty sure the league talked to him and said, you know what? The house always wins. Start giving the home team some wins. So, of course, Kansas City's usually at home when he's a ref.
True.
Home team wins.
Yeah.
True.
But if we're gonna go that deep into it, I mean, the Bills are just a better show right now,
Yeah.
by far.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to watch the Chiefs score 17 points. Their average is right around 19 points a game.
Right.
And nobody wants to see that in the Super Bowl either.
No.
Right?
I don't want to see that.
I think the word that goes to Hockley is, listen, by an inch or a mile, Bills.
Yeah. You know what the best story for the Chiefs is? Taylor Swift. All season, that's been the hype.
Right.
That's been the talk.
That's all they've had.
That's been the talk of the Chiefs. The Swifties and Kelsey
Yep.
and Swift.
I
That's
mean,
it.
she swag surfed the other day. It was horrible, but she did it. She did it. She muddled through it.
Like, if that's the biggest thing that people's talking about is your tight end's girlfriend and not Mahomes and the team and the offense and the defense, like, that should tell you something.
I mean, she is a billionaire.
Oh, yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's different. I mean, I give her that. I don't know. I can't name one song of hers, but don't want to. But I mean, I hear she's got money and she's tall and skinny, so whatever.
She's a dope songwriter. I follow her.
You did say that. I think we talked about that a while ago.
Yeah,
but
yeah. She's a great artist. I like her music.
Did you see the thing that had Haley Steinfeld versus Taylor Swift? They said this is the Haley versus Swift Bowl.
The Haley versus Swift Bowl? Well,
no offense. Haley Steinfeld's acting career right now is going a little bit better than her music career.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Think about it. She's in.
I don't know anything about it.
She's part of the Marvel franchise.
I was just glad that I knew her name.
Oh well, yeah.
You know how I get down. But no, I'm thinking about Taylor Swift. And she's a billionaire. She's like Rihanna, kind of, where it's like
She's over Rihanna.
No, I mean, I'm talking about in terms of I can take my foot off the gas and coast. I don't even care.
She's
my music career. I'm good.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, she's there. That's probably part of the reason why she's dating a ball player now.
Yeah.
Like, she got the time. You know what I'm saying? She got the time to keep up with that.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this phone call?
This is y'all thing. I mean, y'all. I don't even argue.
Let's get to this.
I mean, I'm calm, I'm cool, collected.
Okay. We'll see if you stay that way after.
I will. I'm unflappable.
Pushing my buttons.
CQ, you the same,
Yeah, I'm unflappable.
Yeah.
Now, if he ain't sold my nuggets, we got a beef.
Yo, you ready to go?
We got a beef.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So here in the Post Podium podcast with my bro Rich Sanders. What's going on with you, man?
What's up? Hey, what's going on?
Man, listen. We talking Bills Chiefs. What side of this game you on right now?
Man, listen, I see one side and one side only. This has culminated for years now to this moment for the Bills franchise to take that next step that they've been trying to take ever since they fired and got rid of the old GM and the old coach and all that stuff. And this is basically what the team's been modeled for. So this is the biggest game yet. I know you guys played in the AFC Championship against them and whatnot, but this is what you planned for, what you set your team up for, the position you wanted to have them come to Buffalo, play in that weather, Josh Allen as the quarterback with the strong arm from a cold weather team and all that stuff. This is the game. Unfortunately, I still see the Chiefs pulling it out.
So, okay, let me ask you this. Based on the stats, the Bills have averaged more points per game this season than the Chiefs have. And if we're only counting this season's, statistics, the Bills are the better team. Do you agree?
I disagree with the premise of how you set that up. So, as we know, the Chiefs, specifically, I'll just talk about the Chiefs, and the Bills actually have done what I'm about to tell you about the Chiefs. The Bills actually did it this year, right? And for the first time, they've done it this year. What the Chiefs normally do from season to season is basically what the old model of the Patriots, right? They pull their team together at the beginning of the season, and they basically try to find their identity. They work out different aspects of it. Either they're going to be a running team, they're going to be a passing team. Now, based on the personnel, the free agents that you sign and whatnot, certain times you're able to see right off the bat what kind of team you get. Like when the Patriots got Corey Dillon, okay, it's going to be more run-centric. But when they got Randy Moss, okay, it's going to be passing now. So I think the Chiefs basically were searching for that identity this year, and it took them longer than normal to find it. But I think they've come into their own the last 3 weeks of the season. And last week against Miami kind of looked like they brought it all together and they kind of know what they are.
Okay.
And I think let me finish. And this is what I promise you. And I think the Bills have actually done the same thing. For the first time in McDermott's regime in Buffalo, I don't think they've ever had the plan. I think this year it just happened that they fell into this in this fashion. I think because of some of the outward things that were said and the spotlight nationally that was put on them, some things had to change that kind of forced them into finding who they are. And I think they found who they are.
I would agree with that.
But unfortunately, I think the injuries that they've had in key positions, man, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if Milano was here, if Trey White was there, who else? If Gabe Davis was there.
Playoff Gabe.
If the running back from the Patriots, what's his name? The big
Damien Harris.
Patriots. Yeah,
Damien
Damien
Harris.
Harris. If he was there, listen, I'd be on the other side of this thing. I would think it's something completely different. I would be Bills. Listen, I would say Bills and Ravens going to shoot it out.
Let me
Even
ask
though,
you this,
Because of those injuries.
even though the Bills have the 6th ranked defense without those guys.
Listen, man, you could put all the rankings. Again, like I said, my premise of why I think this is not based on a cumulative of a season. Because the Bills aren't who they were 6 weeks ago. All right? Kansas City's not who they were 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have all the rankings you want. You can have
But
whatever.
you could argue that the Chiefs are closer to who they were 6 weeks ago than the Bills were. You could argue that.
From your perspective.
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about from a numerical perspective, like what the stats show.
now let me ask you this though.
I mean, if we go in the last 2 games,
I don't
no,
agree
that's
with
not the case.
that New England point.
Let me ask you this though. Do you not see Ty Johnson as a comparable, maybe even upgrade to Damien Harris?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, he run hard. He's a hard runner. I think he'd be a good back, but I don't see him doing, or at least he hasn't proven that he can do the same thing Damien Harris did.
Understood.
Okay. I want to take you through this the schedule, and I know your point about the team not being who they were 6 weeks ago, right? But I just went through the Chiefs' schedule and looking at their performance on the road, and even against some of the quarterbacks that they've played. I find it difficult to think that the way this team has performed all season, albeit, they progressed or they've changed or shifted whatever they've done, to change themselves into what they were against the Dolphins. And to be honest, my opinion of that game is the Dolphins just didn't want to play that game in that freezing temperature. But you look at their performance on the road against the Jaguars. It was a 17-9 game, right? They only scored 17 points.
What week was this?
That was week 2. Okay.
Okay. I mean, we're talking long. I mean, we're talking about when the Chiefs didn't even have an identity of who they were.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We can. So let's go to week 8. They only scored 9 points against the Broncos and lost that game.
Right.
That's week 8. That's middle of the season. Teams should have it together by then. Okay.
Hey, what week did the Bills lose to the Broncos?
I want to say 10.
Week 10.
Okay, so is it fair to say the Broncos were playing a lot better football that week? I mean, around that time of the season?
Yeah, absolutely.
We had the Broncos week 8.
Okay. All right, continue.
But again,
no, I'm sorry. You're right.
We're talking about the Chiefs on the road. That's the whole premise of this part of the conversation, though. We're talking about the Chiefs on the road, right? So if you look at their performance against you can look at the Packers in week 13, 19-27. They lost that game.
Why did they lose that game?
I don't think getting into why they lost that game is.
No, I mean, this is not. It's not like any other game. It's like this. I'll put this example. The Giants should have beat the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Right. The Chiefs should have beat the Packers, right?
I mean, I didn't watch that game. I don't know if you could say that.
Well, I wouldn't say should.
I'll tell you what happened in that game since you didn't watch that game.
I wouldn't say should.
The last play of the game was a blatant pass interference on a wide open receiver that was about to score a touchdown.
Would it be fair to say
within
could,
I think a couple seconds left in the game?
Would it be fair to say could? Could have. Because, I mean, in a vacuum, yeah, the Giants should have beat the Bills, and I didn't watch the Chiefs Packers game. But, I mean, other things could happen too. If you played out the way it played out, they could have won with that catch. But there's a lot of things that could have happened that would have still gave the Bills a W.
That's true.
So, I mean, I agree with what he's saying. However, I think it's better off saying could as opposed to should, because they weren't the better team, but they had us against the ropes and they were about to knock us out.
I mean, that's a fair. I mean, I get your point. I get what you're saying. I'm not going to disagree with that.
So what are your, because you talked
reasons
about
why?
Yeah, I was gonna say reasons why, because you talked about the Bills' defense and the players that they don't have right now being a major reason why you don't think the Bills can do it. But what are some of the other reasons?
Well, I think what happened throughout the season, Kansas City realized that they didn't have the receiving core that they thought they had. And the young guys on that team they thought were going to take the next step didn't take the next step. So I believe Kansas City decided to shift to more of a run-centric game. And if you watch them closely, I watched a lot of Kansas City this year and a lot of Buffalo. If you watch them closely, you'd see they started to run the ball more. Then Pacheco ended up getting nicked a couple games. He had a shoulder that he actually missed the Bills game with, right? And that kind of switched up what they had to do. They had to rely more on Patrick Mahomes to make those throws that he can make, and some may argue that only he can make. I'm not saying that, but I've heard that before. But they took that away from him, right? Now you put him back in a situation where he had to rely on those receivers against the Bills, and those receivers didn't make it happen, okay? Enough to win the game. And I think that is a difference that you'll see in this game, to where I'm not saying they're going to go 45% of Pacheco, but you will see a higher percentage of the run game than what you saw before in that first game. In addition, missing your starting middle linebacker, who was the team leader, the guy that organizes everything on that defense. That's another big aspect in that game, because their replacement, I believe, he was covering Kincaid a few times, and Kincaid got loose and knocked. So I think now you see a different upgrade in that position. And then the other linebacker was out as well. So I think those 3 starters are going to be the key to why this doesn't turn out to be a 3-point victory for the Bills like it was last time.
Okay. While I do understand what you're saying in terms of the Chiefs' ability to, for the most part, man up well against our weapons, I still think there's an element that gets missed, and that is the Bills have more weapons than the Chiefs have at this point that need to be covered, right? Sam Acho on Speak, I think it was this morning or this afternoon rather, talked about the key X factor for this game being James Cook and his ability to catch passes against linebackers and what he's shown this season. Can you just talk a little bit about what you've seen from James Cook being a weapon in the pass game?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's something that they've actually gotten away from since that Kansas City game. I think with that Kansas City game, they actually attacked the linebackers, which was the linebackers that were missing, to have them cover Cook downfield. They even used the end on one point. I think there was a play where I vaguely remember there was a play where Cook ran a wheel route, and the defensive end had came out to cover him and kind of stopped and looked like, yo, why I got to cover him all the way down the field? I'm not supposed to be doing stuff like this. And Cook was wide open on the sideline. I think it was like 4 passes he caught that game, and two were long, 2 were shorter. But those things are going to be the things that Kansas City sees, and Andy Reid sees and says, hey, we got to account for this now because maybe we didn't account for it game 1. So I don't see that being a determining factor of the game like it was last time.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Based on what you've seen from the Chiefs this year, would you say they're a better man team or a zone team defensively?
I think they could play either or. I think the thing that you don't want to do is play a lot of man against Josh because of his running ability.
I agree with that.
Vice versa. I don't think the Bills want to play a lot of man either because of the ability for Patrick Mahomes. He could run. He's not as elusive as Josh, but he gets the job done. I think he averages in that matchup. He averages 30 yards a game, and Josh ends up averaging like 40 yards a game.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Josh actually more. Josh, I think
right around 50.
58 and 46 were his 2 totals in the last 2 meetings that they had.
Okay. So this will be my last question. Your Vegas has given the Bills 3 points. Where do you stand as far as your predictions on the final score?
I think it's going to be a lower scoring game, similar to the last one. Again, I think they're going to run the ball. I think you'll see the Bills defense try to, if they're smart. I don't think in those situations where McDermott likes to go zero blitz, I think that's going to be a bad decision this year. I think the Dolphins went zero blitz for the most times anybody last week against Patrick Mahomes all season. I think they went 15 times zero blitz, and he completed 15 passes on all of them. So I just don't see that being, and that's McDermott's MO. And if you recognize against the Broncos when before the field goal attempt, the play that got them down there was a zero blitz.
Right.
That pass interference.
Same thing for
the
the Jaguars game too. Yeah, zero blitz.
Right, and the Jaguars game. See, I don't know if McDermott's learned enough. It's got to be a comfortable place for him to say, hey, well, I'm just going to add pressure. If I add pressure, I'll lose or I'll die on the sword. And I just don't think you want to do that now when everything really matters to the point to that extent. I think you maybe like disguise your zero blitz. So, okay, let's show the same look that we've been showing every single time in the situations, but let's do a zone dropout or something to that nature to where you try to confuse Patrick Mahomes, roll the safeties down. But I just don't know with the depth that we have, or I'm sorry, that you guys have right now at safety, if that's something that's going to be able to be done efficiently. And your nickel with Teron Johnson being hurt or banged up a little bit, Taylor Rapp being banged up a little bit, Christian Bedford being banged up, Rasul Douglas being banged up, I just don't think the timing of what you want to accomplish or what you need to accomplish against Patrick Mahomes is going to be enough. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, as we like to point out, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But this Bills Nation around these pieces, we gonna win this game, man.
All right. I mean, that's cool. Like, that's the attitude I expect you to have. But I'm glad you brought me on for a different point of view and perspective, because I mean, when you talk about it, it's just talk about an objective. Like, I'm not a Chief. I'm a Buccaneers fan. So I'm going to be glued to the TV before y'all, and we got our own issues. So,
that's what's up. No, I greatly appreciate that the Bucs have eliminated the Eagles from contention. That was an But thank you for coming on, man. We got to do this more often.
Hey, thanks for having me. Anytime, man. You guys have a good one, all right?
All right, you too.
All right, my man.
All right, take care.
You too.
No, I wanted the Eagles.
Yeah, that was my Super Bowl pick too. Real quick, Christopher writes in, this game got me nervous. I for some reason I don't have a nervousness about this game, and in the past when I've been this calm before a game, it usually turns out fine. Like for me, I wasn't worried at all about the Steelers game, like at all. It was almost to the point where I didn't even really feel like I needed to watch the Steelers game, right?
I was thinking about the Steelers podcast I sent you when you
yeah what the Crossroads joint. Yeah. They really at a crossroads right now. They got their coach walking out of press conferences and everything.
And they edited off the press conference video. Yeah, they took it right off.
Yeah,
like nobody saw it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just to speak a little bit to what my bro Rich was talking about, there are things like that you can point to and say, okay, historically, the Chiefs have shown that they can do A, B, and C, right? What I really think matters above everything else is we're talking about this game in the year 2024. This is the 23-24 season, so technically still 23, right? But in this particular season, over the span of the last 6 weeks, the Bills have been the most dominant team. I don't know if I can say dominant team, but they've been the hottest team in the entire NFL, right? Even with the injuries. He talked about Trey White. He talked about Matt Milano. That's only 2 players, right? Terrell Bernard has an ankle sprain. You wrap that bad boy up and shoot it up, he can play, right? If you really worried about, needing his services during that game. If you're not, then you put A.J. Klein in there. Why? Because the Chiefs are going to try to run the ball to establish their offense. That's the way the Chiefs have to establish their offense is through the run.
I think Dotson is the biggest one. That's the biggest component right there. If Dotson plays, it's a whole different ball game.
Right. If you got Klein and Dotson on the field, they're not running the ball like that. You serious? Yeah. With DaQuan Jones on the field, there's no way that Chiefs offense gets off running the ball when you got Dotson and Klein on the field, our 2 best run defending linebackers, right? So I just can't see that. And really, Chris, this is what's making me feel great about this game, because you kind of don't even really need Terrell Bernard for this game, right? Schematically, matchup wise, you don't he's more of a liability on the field against that offense than any other team we're going to play this year, right?
So remember, DaQuan didn't play in the first game, so
right, that's the other thing too, right? We had Linval Joseph playing in that game.
Yeah, well, it was starting was Ed Oliver and Jordan Phillips, 2 3-techs.
Oh wow!
And then Tim Settle, which was another 3-tech, came in. So yeah, you had no anchor, and that's why CEH and McKinnon got off, because if you look at where they run, they all like runner. Actually, Pacheco is really going to meet his match when it comes to Dotson and Jones, because his runs are almost primarily either A gap. He lives in the A gaps, which is the left and right of the center, and that's where DaQuan Jones is going to be. And if you can get a guy that can tie up the center and the guard and dictate which gap he's going to run through, that's going to be Dodson coming right to the free gap and cleaning them up. Yeah. He did clean up CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire a couple of times in the game we played earlier in the season.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris, I know this hype surrounded around the Chiefs. Excuse me, this mystique. All of that is coming from their history of who they were, right? They're probably 2 years away from that offense being anywhere near as dominant as they were for the last 3, 4, 5 years, right? Defensively, they're going to be a problem. But you have to consider, I don't think they paid Chris Jones yet. Have they paid him yet? I don't think they paid Chris Jones yet.
Nope.
No.
Okay, so no, they haven't picked. So are they going to be able to keep him?
No,
Probably not.
I don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to be gone, right?
And speaking of which, guess who handled him in the game pretty well? Spencer Brown.
Oh wow.
Spencer Brown handled him pretty well.
Shocking.
He had a nice little horse collar tackle hold on him at one point, but 1-on-1 he wasn't bad.
I mean that's actually surprising. So and the Chiefs do like to use him at defensive end on key downs. Yeah, so that makes me feel a lot better. But Chris writes in, I get nervous every game. Not always the opponent I'm worried about. It's more of us beating us that I'm nervous.
Chris, you with me? We're not used to winning in Buffalo. That's the thing. We're not used to it.
Yeah,
it's scary.
But Josh's numbers at home are so much better than away. It's almost night and day the way Josh plays at home, and even with the turnovers and all that, like Josh is a different cat at home, and even in the playoff games that we played over the last 3 or 4 years. Let's take the Cincinnati Bengals game out of the equation because they didn't have anything within them to be able to compete that day. They just didn't have it, right? So let's take that off the board. Every other team that's come into this house, they've given us a run for our money, but who won those games at the end of the day, right? If you look at it, if you take this scenario and you take it back to the medieval days where you fought to the death, right? What mattered? The person left standing, right? Who cares about what the performance anywhere? Like at the end of the day, Josh made enough plays to be the last man standing at home, right? And really, the Bengals game is the only game that we've been beating at home. Other than that, the Bills are undefeated.
But
right? The Chiefs have been beaten at home.
Chris, I feel you, big guy. I hear everything A is saying, but I feel you. I mean, I started to show off. On a high note. I'm gonna bring it back up.
I got that confidence, bro.
I'm gonna bring it back up.
It's weird. I think if this game was in Kansas City, I would be nervous, especially with Hockey League, because they always get the calls. There's always some stupid scenario that the Bills get caught up in every single time that we play that team that ends up giving them another shot or whatever, right? The one thing that has given me hope this season is the Kadarius Toney penalty. That tells me that the NFL is not really interested in the Chiefs' show this season, because if they were, they don't get that. We don't get that call. We've never gotten that call before. Right? And according to the Chiefs, if you let them tell it, that call just doesn't get called.
Right.
Like ever.
Well, I can tell you this. The Chiefs are 7th in blitz rate. They're 2nd in the league in sacks. Josh Allen 64% against the blitz. Mm-hmm. You didn't even factor in his legs.
Right.
He's got 12 touchdowns against the blitz. Josh Allen, and this is gonna fly in the face of my theory of his fake slide thing, because that was the clumsiest juke I've ever seen. It was a juke, but it was clumsy and ugly.
Right. 6'5", 240 guy.
Yeah, he must not play. He played basketball, I know, but that was not a crossover. And but anyway,
they say he was trying to fake slide.
That was nowhere. No, I wouldn't. I know that wasn't even close to a fake slide. But my point being in all this, even as tacky as that juke was, there's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league that can do that. There's not a lot of quarterbacks in the league that can take a ball 52 yards.
Right.
So that's another component that the Chiefs cannot pin their ears back and go all in, because they gotta stay honest, because one, you got Himbo,
Here we go.
Timothy Cook. You got. I gave him 3 different names right there, and we got the Winter Soldier.
Wait,
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not saying it's Chris. I'm pumping myself up right now. So go with me here. So in that regard, a lot of the things the Chiefs like to do, a lot of things you've seen them do against other teams will not matter when they play us.
Real quick, let's take a few steps back. We missed a couple of comments
Go ahead.
from.
Let's get 'em.
So T wrote in,
Uh-oh.
calm down. Over Rihanna, I think not. I think she was talking about when I said that Taylor Swift is over Rihanna.
I know she's gonna get. Oh, no, I ain't gonna say it. She'll tell you later in sidebar.
Okay.
One of the best concerts of her life, but it wasn't the best, but it was when she tells Ken
Is that why
nauseam.
I'm getting the blowback now? Is that
Yeah.
what, oh, okay.
Because
All right.
I know the story, and she'll be happy to tell you the story in her own time.
Okay. I think, I like to take things to the numbers. I think the numbers will bear out that, Taylor Swift is sold more than Rihanna. But
I mean, that's easy.
what do I know?
That's easy enough. I'm about to go drop a mixtape after this show.
We got a booth right through this glass.
I'm about to go in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm taking this mic and everything.
All right. Hey, turn my music up.
I can't hear my left ear.
What? Oh my gosh! All right, so let's do this. From T writes in wrong. All right, whatever. Fine. You have your concert. You just whatever. Chris writes in, Cincinnati fans singing their song at our stadium last year like they Toronto Maple Leafs coming into KeyBank Center. I mean, I get it. If you were in the midst of that and that what
Just no. I mean, if you were in the midst of all that, I understand.
if you were in the midst of all that, of course that's gonna stick with you. I just think you can give the Bills the benefit of the doubt for what happened at the end of the season. I mean, for these guys, you got to keep in mind, football players from day one, they get the best health care. They get everything as soon as they need it, right? If they need an IV, they get it as soon as they need it. It's the second they start to, I don't feel good. All right, here's an IV, right? As soon as they break a leg, they in the hospital the next day getting surgery, right? Like these things for football players happen so fast and so efficiently and so in such a catering way to the needs of the players that they aside from their personal lives, if they haven't experienced a death in their personal life, for them to and a lot of these players didn't experience death right in front of them either, right? Some have, I don't know exactly who those are and who those aren't, but for them to see a guy that they practice with, eat with, drive around with, go to events with, on the field being resuscitated, like that's heavy. Like I've seen somebody be resuscitated in front of me, right? So I know what that feeling is like, seeing somebody lay there. Let's say it, dead, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I think it's a situation where, going through that transition of just seeing what you just saw, being traumatized by that, carrying the PTSD with you, and then being told, okay, we know y'all just went through a traumatic experience, but y'all still have a show to put on for these fans that are paying the bills right now. Like, if I had a music career, like think about any other person in any other venture of life that wasn't a sport, right? If it was a musician, they would easily cancel the next show. If it was a painter, they could cancel the show, right? The players can't cancel the show. They work for the NFL, right? And the NFL is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. So while they understand what the Bills players are going through, show must go on in their mind. I didn't agree with that at all, but it is what it is, right? So I'm saying all this to say, and it's a very long-winded way of saying we got to sweep that Cincinnati game under the rug. We got to let that go. We got that should not, in my mind, be counted at all against the Bills. And for as much as I've fought for Stephon Diggs' stance in that situation of we got to step up and play no matter what, you know what I'm saying? But I just.
I mean, I think that comes from the knowledge that it's a corporation of business, and businesses only care about one thing, and that's the economy. So Diggs, knowing this, knows they need this game. He's a competitor. I mean, did he want to play? Of course not. But he knows the ramifications if they all walked off. Now, luckily, Zach Taylor and his team was like, we're with y'all. But had it been, I don't know, somebody that didn't give a flip about anything that they saw, like, oh, this is our win. Right. You forfeit. You lost. So, I mean, I get it. I get both sides. And I know where Diggs' head was at, because I've been not in that situation per se, but I've been in a predicament where F my feelings. Nobody cares about, I got to do this. And that's what he was trying to condition his guys to think. Yeah. We got to do this. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it, and hopefully I'm glad we're not playing Cincinnati again. One, I don't think we're ready to play them again with Joe Burrow. But I don't want to hear any more, like I said, when we played them. I don't want to hear any more about that because it seemed like this season was lining up to be a whole bunch of excuses. With all the injuries early, with the Damar Hamlin thing, with the media, every time they show an ambulance, you gotta see Damar Hamlin. Every time you see somebody on the field, Damar Hamlin. Every time he's with so it just got old. I love the guy, but I was tired of seeing him, and I was tired of them putting him in a position where he's flossing his teeth on the sideline because somebody got hurt on the field. Right, it's crazy.
Yeah. Let's get into the offensive matchups against the Chiefs defense. Unless you had something else you want to get into first. I
mean, I just wanted to rub it in your face that Antonio Pierce got hired as the head coach of the Raiders.
In the show.
Huh. I got some stuff.
I was gonna say you've been quiet for a really long time.
So first of all, Rich, I don't agree with none of his points because first of all, we all know KC's identity. Their identity is not up for grabs. Neither was the Patriots with Tom Brady. He's done the same system since he's been in there. Yeah. So what do you mean they're finding their identity? They've been know what that identity was. What they found out was they can't win the same way because they haven't put up points. So if you look at it from the season, KC has put up 30 points 3 times in their whole season. Mm-hmm. So you really think that that they're going to put up that many points against the Bills? I don't see it happening. Second of all, in order to beat the Bills, you're going to have to outscore them, right? That's how you win the games, whoever got the most points. I don't see that happening against the Bills defense. And to Tiana's point, Rihanna has sold more records than Taylor Swift.
All right, fine. You go out into the world and you ask a random person who's got more songs that they like.
As they're wearing Fenty. As they're wearing,
I think it depends on where you go. I think you'll find more Swifties than Rihanna fans.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, to me that says a lot more when you got a body of fans that identify themselves a certain way. But okay.
I think after upon the replay, Rihanna didn't change her whole catalog though.
Right.
But no, I'm ready to go into the offense if you want. So we're doing Bills offense versus their defense, or how are we doing this?
Let's get into the Bills offensive matchups versus the Chiefs defense. Okay. What do we like the most in terms of matchups?
I like the Bills pass game versus the Chiefs defense because I don't see them stopping us in the passing game at all. We have too many weapons. We got Shakir, we got Knox, Kincaid, Diggs, Hardy. I don't see them shutting us down.
Yeah, they can't guard everybody.
No, I don't see it happening. And our run game, I don't really see her stopping the run game. That they either they're not going to stop Josh and James Cook. It's not going to happen. So I think we have the advantage with the Bills' offense versus KC's defense.
Yeah, all day long. I like that. I like that a lot. The way I was thinking about it when Rich was talking you know, if they wanted to play man, which they probably won't play much of aside from maybe third downs when they're blitzing, because that's what they're known for. They blitz a lot. I think you said they had a 60% blitz rate.
No, they Josh Allen 64% against the blitz.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But the Chiefs, what I've seen them do regularly on third downs against the Bills is they blitz and they play man, and Diggs is typically the person that gets the first look because in the past the Bills haven't had anybody else that can win, right? But this year the Bills have 3 other guys that can win in man coverage. You got James Cook, who can win against a linebacker. Mm-hmm. You got Dalton Kincaid, who can win against a linebacker or a safety. Mm-hmm. And you got Khalil Shakir, who can win against their nickel, right? The other thing this does too is it stops the no, I don't think so. We're gonna have to man, there should be another battery over there. You might have to change the battery out. You don't know how to do that?
I was going to say, if you're talking about passing yards to a receiver against the Kansas City defense, you're looking at they're somewhere around allowing the 4th least amount of yards per game to opposing wide receivers. If you're looking at running back yardage, you're talking about something to the tune of Kansas City. They're about middle at 86.9 yards a game
that they give up.
I
mean, that's fine. That's right around Cook's average.
That's right around Cook's average. But I think we're looking at, you know, at this point in time, if you're talking about Kincaid, I mean they're a stalwart on defense. Right. I'm not saying they can't be beat. I just don't think that the Bills have seen. I don't know if they've seen a team that they can just get over easily. This is going to be one of the toughest teams that I think they're going to play defensively. Offensively, to your point, I don't know. I know what you're saying, Mel. I kind of get what Rich was saying too when it comes to the identity, because with Tyreek Hill, like you said, they don't score 30 points. They're not used to that. They're still trying to figure out what do we do.
Right.
And I think that's kind of where he was going with it when he's saying now we got to figure out, like you just said, what are we? Because we can't throw the ball to Tyreek anymore. We don't have that wide receiver. We got Travis Kelce, who's 33 years old. So I don't know. I mean, I get it. I can understand the logic behind it. Now I get what you're saying too, because you're right. They don't follow anybody.
Right.
They just,
and then like you said, like I don't know, maybe he didn't know, but I knew what Tom Brady's game plan was. The whole 20 years he ran the same offense. Mm-hmm. He gonna throw the ball quick, get the ball out. He not gonna run. They got a good defense, and they gonna rely on the run game. Like that's the system that they built for years. Like they never had to switch up their identity. It's always been the same.
Right. Yeah.
And then the fact is like, and then the other thing too is like you gotta look at the Bills' losses. We've lost every game by a score. That you can't say that for KC. They lost multiple games. Matter of fact, they put up 9 points. The Bills have never put up 9 points in a game. Like no. Like this year, if we're talking about just this year, like historically, yes, the Chiefs has been better historically, but this year the Bills have been better in all facets to me. Like, yes, this year KC's defense is probably the best as it's ever been, but I don't think that they can still. I think we got way too many weapons for KC to check, and they can't check everybody. Yeah, so I don't see us. It's hard to say. Like I don't see us struggling at this game at all, but I just think that they don't have enough to beat us because I know what it's going to take for us to beat the Bills.
See,
you have to put up at least 28 points.
Statistically, this is Mahomes' worst season as a pro.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got that going for you, but they usually don't have a defense, and that's the thing is like they're number 2 defense right now, and who's the defensive coordinator?
For who?
Kansas City.
Spagnuolo.
Okay. And I think, did you allude to the fact that he was good against Josh? Was that him or was that Vic Fangio? Which one of them was good against Josh? Was it Spagnuolo?
Spags has had the most success against Josh. Vic Fangio has not had success.
No, I just couldn't remember which one you said. Those are two that come to my mind. I couldn't remember which
Spags
one
and
you
then
mentioned.
the Chiefs the Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah, Lou and Aruna.
Those two.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The Bengals, I think the Bengals. I think the issue with the Bengals is Josh trying to keep up with that with the speed, not speed of like physical speed of their offense, but the speed and propensity for their scoring.
Yeah.
I think he falls behind. He gets flustered. I think that's what that is because our defense has not stopped Cincinnati, where they have stopped Kansas City before.
Right. And then the other thing that nobody's talking about, they don't have Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Like you just said it. This is Pat Mahomes' statistically worst year.
Yep.
There's no Eric Bieniemy. Like, granted, you can't say they don't really have wide receivers. They had wide receivers last year.
Yeah, they're missing a scheme. It's a completely different.
They had
offense.
Juju Smith-Schuster last year.
Yeah.
Like, he's not that great. So, like, I don't want to hear, oh, well, we didn't. No, like,
I'll take him
this
over
is
Tony,
your team. Take it over who?
Tony
Tony.
Kadarius.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm sure the Chiefs fans would too.
Yeah, they booing that clown.
So, like, so as far as threats go, they got Rashee Rice, Kelsey, and Pacheco.
I mean, Rasheed
That's it,
Rice,
right?
He went for.
You don't have to respect anybody else like that.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice went for 72 and a touchdown against us earlier this year. I think Kelsey went 6 for 8 for 83 yards when we played them earlier in the season. So, I mean, they can be beat. They're if you want to call them, they're a two-headed monster when they're really not. If Rasul Douglas is playing, either Rasheed Rice or Kelsey is going to be limited slightly. I mean, they're not going to erase him from the game plan. Obviously, that's not possible.
Right.
But
well, let me say this really quick. I think the Bills. You know what? I'll wait because we haven't really gotten to the Bills' defense versus their offense. But go ahead.
Do your thing.
Okay. So I think for me, this is what's really going to benefit the Bills is to your point. The Chiefs don't have enough weapons to force the Bills to play man coverage, right? The Bills can effectively play their scheme, which is a zone scheme, and not be forced out of that by anything other than maybe the run, right? But even with that, even if they tried to set up play action, the Bills can still stay in zone, right? Kelsey is the only one in that offense right now that is proficient at finding holes in the zone. Mm-hmm. But there's no other guy that's going to be able to take the coverage and force the coverage to a different area that opens things up for Kelsey. So the Bills will be able to bracket Kelsey. If they really wanted to, they can also bracket Rashee Rice. And then who else are you going to throw to at that point? Right? You think is Sky Moore still playing? I haven't seen Sky Moore in forever.
He's on injury reserve.
Right. And then you think Tony's gonna all of a sudden miraculously show up in somebody else's house when he can't even show up in his own house?
You mean know how to play football?
That's my point. Is he gonna know how to line up? Like these are all reasons why I strongly believe like this is gonna be a bad game for the Chiefs. Like matchup wise, it does not look good for them. Period. However you want to line it up. And what every person who thinks the Chiefs are going to win, including my boy Rich, the perspective they've come from has been consistently they think the Chiefs based on what? Their history.
Yep.
Not this year, their history, right? And you can't even you can't do that. Like us as Bills fans can't even do that.
I don't want to.
Exactly. Right? So if we're going based on right here, right now, which is all we have, the Bills are the better team. They have the quarterback who's been playing better football over the last 6 weeks. And on top of that, they have the team who's been the hottest in the entire NFL. Period. There's no way around that point. And when you take all of those points and you add on top of that, they have to come here. It's the first time Mahomes has ever had to be away from mommy and daddy. It's a problem for them. I don't care what they did in the past. Yeah. They had completely different teams with different weapons, with different capabilities in the past. They don't have that this year. Real quick, Rich writes in, I think the Bills will whoop the Chiefs' butt because of McDermott. You just find ways, bro. You just find ways.
Other Rich. He ain't hear nothing else on the show. He's
Right. Let me find a way to get McDermott in the conversation. That's why you slipped on the snow. I don't know if anybody else saw it. He posted a video of himself snow blowing, and he messed up and slipped in the snow. I said, I'm on the snow side. Me in the snow like this now. That's what you get coming on here with that foolishness. Yeah. I even went as far as to give McDermott some cred earlier, and you just going, this how you gonna be? Okay, all right. I see where we at. Key, what you got?
Well, we're going back to the offensive side. I think looking at statistics, if you're talking about our running back rushing propensity, we're 12th in the league versus their 15th. So neither team is head and shoulders better than the other. Let's see. If you're talking about wide receivers, the receiving yardage in Kansas City obviously running backs. They have a better edge when it comes to receiving and reception yardage by their running backs, which would be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, McKinnon, and Pacheco. But as we know, Josh Allen doesn't really like to give the ball to his running backs.
Right.
But
he's been forced to this year, though. He's running the ball.
He's been forced to, passing.
Oh, throwing to the running
passing.
back. Yeah, well, if his running back is running the 15-yard route, then he'll throw it to him.
Right,
he'll put it up.
But this was the game where James Cook caught the ball and dove in the end zone.
Yeah.
This is the game where Latavius Murray somehow did that thing he did where he caught it whatever, and the Chiefs just heaved on himself and watched the ball in the floor, and Murray just put a single hand on it and fell on top of the ball.
Right.
Things like that got to be cleaned up. But we have some of the plays that will beat this team, as you said. Their pass rush can be negated by the threat of Josh Allen, can be negated by the versatility of James Cook and Ty Johnson. I think if you're looking at the sacks, the proof is in the pudding. We're both about the same when it comes to sacks. Mm-hmm. They're second, we're fourth. Now ours are more volume because we got multiple 6, 7, 8 sack games,
right.
Whereas they've been more sustained and they're averaging about 0.4 more sacks than we are. So that number in itself, 3 sacks a game is pretty high. But when we can do it to them the same when they don't have the wide receivers that we're worried about. Exactly. I'm still worried about who we're putting back there though. I'm still worried about who our defensemen are. In
terms of secondary, or
with regards to Micah Hyde, his on and off, as Christian Benford who's out, Dane Jackson. If you got Douglas playing his first game back,
if you got it, I think I'm okay with Dane Jackson being your number 2 corner. I wouldn't want him being the number 1.
No, Rasul's going to be in there, but we're looking at what Cam Lewis probably being in corner, the nickel.
Say it again.
Cam Lewis possibly being a nickel.
I wouldn't want that either. I mean,
that's what
Taron
we're looking
Johnson
at.
Taron Johnson is questionable.
He's in concussion protocol, so he's got to clear in 2 days. That's tough.
He's practiced.
They do that though.
Huh?
They practice. He didn't clear though.
I didn't know they let you practice.
Yeah,
if you still
can be limited.
Protocol.
He was limited.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He has to wear a red jersey and he can practice. He just can't take part in any hitting.
Rich writes in, speaking of that, currently in the NFL playoffs, 5 of 8 coaches are defensive head coaches. McDermott for president of the defensive head coaches.
He just trolling you right now.
Bro, that is false. That is false. Who are these defensive head coaches?
Well, McDermott, Houston. You got Pierce, you got DeMeco Ryans.
No. You're talking about, he said in the NFL playoffs currently, there's only 2 defensive head coaches in the playoffs right now.
Oh, in the playoffs. I went off on a tangent.
You got DeMeco Ryans and you got Sean McDermott. Who are the other 3?
So you could argue Ravens, Harbaugh.
No, special team. No, because he's coached all 3.
He's never going to give that the
No, I will never.
He's not nudging that.
But he's not an offensive coach.
He's not nudging that.
Yeah, but
he's not nudging that.
To me,
he was a special teams coordinator. He was a special teams guy. That before he got the head coaching job, his thing that he was a special teams coordinator.
That's like saying Matt Smiley's your head coach. That's trash.
That's what?
Matt Smiley that's big trash.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a ring.
Oh, we gotta save time. We talking about special teams. Okay.
Oh my God.
We talking about it.
The kicker. Listen. The kicker. Tell me who the other defensive head coaches are.
Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah.
No, Dan Campbell was a tight ends coach.
Dude, I don't know, man. He's a defensive minded coach.
He's just crazy.
No, he goes for it on fourth down way more than any other defensive head coach.
You see how they start arguing when I said I was going to talk about special teams?
No, he was a tight ends coach before he got this job. He was a tight ends coach. That's what he's known for being, right?
He did tight ends. He did what else?
I think he might have did linebackers too, but he was a tight end.
I know. I just can't remember because I know he did something different. Offensive coaching, tight end.
He was a senior defensive assistant.
Yeah, so defensive assistant.
He was also a senior offensive assistant. He was a QB coach.
He was all things. But see, that's the kind of guy I like, though. I like guys that did defense and offense.
Right. So, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I said this plenty of episodes before this, except for DeMeco Ryans and Sean McDermott.
Todd Bowles.
Got
him.
Todd Bowles is the head coach?
Tampa Bay.
Okay, 3.
We got him. Rich.
You got one out of what? You still dropped 2. That's like 2 out of 3. Okay, fine.
Let one of them win the Super Bowl.
Bill Belichick has 6 Super Bowl rings. I don't think I have an issue with a defensive head coach winning the Super Bowl. What I'm saying is the trend in the NFL lately has been offensive guys bringing a scheme with a young quarterback that creates a scenario where you don't have to worry about going from offensive coordinator to offensive coordinator to offensive coordinator. We just talked about on this show about, oh man, somebody trying to talk to Joe Brady and they asked permission to do it right now, and that means they really like him. So that, you know what that means? We're going to have to look for another offensive coordinator.
You got better listen to everything Josh Allen tells him.
Listen.
Josh Allen better be the offensive coordinator.
Exactly. So that we can have one person to blame on that one. But I think I've been misquoted. I don't prefer that. At all. Rich got his rocks off, so he said thank you guys. All right. See you later. Glad you I'm not gonna get graphic on the show.
That was great.
All right, so do we have anything else for the Bills offense against the Chiefs defense?
That I can remember? No, but I'm sure I do.
It'll probably come back up once we start talking.
It definitely will.
Okay. Mac, what you got? What do you have regarding the Chiefs offense versus the Bills defense?
So, like I said, for offense, the only one I'm worried about is Rice, Pacheco, Kelsey. Like the only way the Bills can maybe mess this up is if somebody else go off like Miko Hardman.
I was just gonna say that.
Noah Gray,
Kadarius Toney. It could happen because nobody expects.
I'll even
say, who y'all didn't mention?
I'll even say MVS.
I was gonna say nobody mentioned their number 2 receiver going off. Why?
Well,
because he's not going to do that. MVS is Gabe Davis light.
Yeah. He does run like the deep routes.
Yeah, he only runs a few routes.
But he just doesn't. He doesn't just get erased for games on end.
That's what I'm saying. That's the
only thing. He's got a quarterback that's gonna put the ball in. And I'm not bashing Josh Allen, but they don't let MVS run option routes. It's you run this route, you go here, and the times where he does get the deep shot, he is beating the guy that he's playing against, right?
I think Josh looks at Gabe's like, oh snap, he's open. Nah.
Right, because by the time Gabe Davis gets to the top of the route and it's an option, he's like, based on the coverage, I'm going to go this way. Never mind what my quarterback might be thinking.
By the time Gabe Davis gets open, the ball's already gone.
That's true.
Another point I'm sorry I forgot to make was another thing that's going to boil down to is interceptions. Because the Chiefs defense, they got ball hawks. Like, I'm not going to take that from them. They got Trent McDuffie. They got Ladarius Sneed. They got Justin Reed. Like, they got Mike Edwards. So they got boys who can get that ball. So Josh got to be disciplined. Like, he can't go for the home run shots. He got to play his game and don't be greedy. And I think if he keeps the ball and don't turn it over, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I really think so, man.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But turnovers could change the whole course of this game. As we know, turnovers is key, man.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we have the potential to do is get to the edge on that Chiefs defense in terms of running the ball. We've seen the Bills be able to run the ball up the middle and run around teams. I would like to see the Bills do something to get Cook on the outside against those linebackers instead of having him, attack the defensive lineman. I don't think this is a defensive line that you play around with like that. I think they're too good in order to, they're too good for you to try and see if you can, push them or move them out of position. I don't even want to play around with that. This is also not a team that you can call, 6 different times on second down, almost the same run play, time after time after time after time, every, possession. Obviously, I think Joe Brady is smart enough to recognize that, and hopefully he's got some some things up his sleeve for key moments, because one of the things that the Chiefs do well is disguising things and changing things up all the time. One of the things that Spags has been great at is making Josh think every single down, right? I will say this though. Spags has not seen what Josh can do in this particular offense with Joe Brady behind Josh. Spags has only seen a little bit of that in Kansas City this year, but even that wasn't this final, and even this, iteration of the Bills is not final, but this iteration of the Bills as it exists right now in the divisional round, Spags has never seen that. He's never seen the things that we did against the Steelers.
Yeah, so he would have saw Brady's second game at OC.
Yes.
Yeah. So he didn't really establish anything.
Exactly. So, does he have tape to look at and see? Yeah, probably. But again, one of the greatest things about the position that Joe Brady is in is he has an opportunity to say, yeah, you can look at what the scheme is, but I also got some leeway to tweak some things, move some people in and out. I can do some different things, because what are teams going to do? They can't say, okay, well, let's go look at last year's tape. He wasn't a coordinator last year. You don't know what he's going to do. It is the ultimate camouflage that Joe Brady has to be operating out of Ken Dorsey's playbook while still being able to edit and modify and switch things up on a week-to-week basis. It almost creates a scenario where defensive coordinators can't game plan against the Bills' offensive schemes, so they have to game plan against specific players and try to take specific players away. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up with regard to the Chiefs' defense is I don't think they're going to be able to bracket Stephon Diggs in this game. How can they justify double teaming him when you got all these other guys that can win? Right? You almost force that team to have to play zone. And I'm sorry, if you got them playing zone, we got 3 guys that can eat zone. 3. The Chiefs have
4.
1.
We got 4.
Nice try.
No, we got 4.
We have 4. Who?
We got 4. Who you got? Who your 3?
Well,
Shakir,
I'll give the Chiefs
Diggs,
2.
Kincaid.
Shakir, Diggs, Kincaid. Eat up a zone.
Yeah.
Dawson Knox.
I'll take the Bills for it. I will give them 2 though. I'll give Kelsey and Rice. I think they can get in the zone.
Playoff Knox. Playoff marketing calendar. Playoff Knox.
Keep your pants on.
But I will say, to your point about their ball hawking, they're really not that opportunistic. They only have 8 interceptions this season. We got 18. We have 20 forced fumbles, 19 recoveries. Our defense is there. It just I forgot myself. I was like, wait a minute.
I forgot.
I was like, because we went through that long spell where nobody had interceptions. So I'm like,
right before we got Douglas.
Right, and he's got like 19 on his own, this season just as a Bill. No, but like if you couple in the fact, like I told you last time, that Josh Allen to me is Josh Allen when he has a turnover. Save for last game, he didn't have a turnover and he was still somewhat Josh Allen. I mean, his numbers didn't dictate the dominance that he usually displays. He had 23 yards passing and was 72 yards rushing. He didn't hit 300 yards, but normally, I was looking back when we did the last show before the Steelers game. I said I wanted a game like the Denver game or not Denver, like the Vegas game where he had like 300 plus yards and rushed out of his mind, and it was the same effectiveness, but he was very decisive. He took what they gave him, and guys helped him out by getting extra yardage. But I say all this to say, a team that takes the ball away from us when Josh is on, they really don't matter to me at all. Because it's like a 2-to-1. Josh throws 2 interceptions, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns.
That's true.
When he's on.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. Normally, if he throw one pick, he's going to get you 2 more touchdowns.
He's going to get you 2.
Right.
And he's probably going to run for 1 too, because he doesn't want to give anybody else the shine of having a touchdown.
Now I'm glad you mentioned the run. Can we run a zone and spy Mahomes at the same time?
Can we do what?
Can we run the zone and spy Mahomes? Because here's what Mahomes is good at. Not as good as Josh. I think Josh is a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
What Mahomes will do is he won't run like the first half of the game, right? But the second half of the game, when it's crucial clutch moments, he takes off because you haven't been checking for him. And what happens is that zone, they'll play the zone, and then he'll just wait, and boom, he'll take off.
And I think that happened in the Dolphins game. I think he was averaging 26 yards a carry.
Yeah.
26, 23. Don't check my math on that. But that's exactly what he did. He didn't run it all in the first half, but then at the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about too.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's a depleted Dolphins defense in freezing cold weather that they didn't want to be there, for. There's so much about this Chiefs season that I think gets overblown because of their history, because of who they are. It's almost exactly like what happened before people started realizing that the Patriots aren't as good as they used to be, or even as good as people thought they were, right? It's almost like, the first year that they go through, a slump, people are just, they don't have this or they don't have that, and but they'll get that next year. It's like, okay, where they gonna get it from? You think they just gonna magically draft somebody that's gonna magically work out? They've been trying to draft a receiver for 3 years and they got one out of the 2 first-round picks that they've spent on receivers, not to mention the first-round pick that they traded for Kadarius. I'm sorry, not a first-round pick, but the trade for Kadarius Toney. They've been trying to get receivers on this team to replicate what Tyreek Hill can do, and they can't do it.
Yeah, you can add in Juju that they traded for. You can add in trading away. What's the guy's name?
Miko Carmen and bringing him back.
Who's that?
Miko Hardman.
and bringing him
Miko
back.
Hardman,
Yeah.
bringing him back. I mean, they're actively working, which I commend you for. Identifying something's not working and trying to fix it.
Right.
You could hit on somebody. You could, but I mean, it's like pissing in the wind. Possibly, but chances are it's going to take a while.
All right.
Right, and the other thing too that people aren't taking into consideration is this GM and this head coach have been together before, right? When they were in Philly, they couldn't get receivers to save their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Their best receivers were James Thrash and Todd Pinkston
Why you
before
doing
they
this?
went and got T.O.
Why are you doing this to me? We just talked about this last show.
Was this
James Thrash and Todd Pinkston.
Was this before Macklin and?
Oh
Deshaun
yeah,
Jackson?
and
Deshaun Jackson?
yeah, yeah.
It was before that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And for most of Donovan McNabb's career, that's who he
James
had.
Thrash and Todd Pinkston.
Right.
And they made it to the playoffs, which
Right.
pissed me off.
Right.
Because we had
So,
to watch that.
Does he find guys eventually? Yes. But has he shown the ability to consistently do that year in and year out to where you just don't have to worry about it? No, not at all. I think if anything, it's the exact opposite. You should worry.
Yeah.
Like, he was bold enough to trade away Tyreek Hill. How has he done replacing him since? He hasn't. Does anybody believe Rashee Rice is going to magically become Tyreek Hill? Not at all.
No.
At best, he can become Stephon Diggs.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Wait a minute.
At best.
I don't like your inflection of at best.
Huh?
I don't like your inflection of at best. It's like this Stephon Diggs is a consolation prize. I don't know about all that.
No. I just mean in terms of his. Okay, so forgive me.
Drewski. Where you at?
Where I'm
He's right here.
where I'm going with that is Rashee Rice's capability to run routes, his body type, his speed level. You know what I mean? He reminds me of a younger Stephon Diggs.
I'm about to say, be careful. Yeah.
He may not be as quick as Stephon Diggs, but I think with experience and time and work, I think he could be as good as Stephon Diggs.
He's a rookie. I mean, that tells you all you need to know. He's a rookie.
Right, 100%. So, look, all of these things tell me that this is a mismatch for the Chiefs. There's no way to shake that. Like the Chiefs defense, the best thing that they can hope for is enough pressure to make Josh make a mistake. That's the best thing they could hope for, because not only is that going to, give them an extra possession, it's going to give them clock management time, and it's going to keep the crowd quiet.
Did you know Mahomes gets better with the less time he has to throw the ball? His percentage
so does
goes
Josh.
up.
So does Josh.
No, his percentage goes up. His percentage goes up. It's the other way around. But I mean, it's like, to your point about Rashee Rice.
Mm-hmm.
I admit, I don't know if you noticed this, when he fumbled against us. What did they do? Put him right back in the game.
Oh yeah, and
they went right back to him.
Yeah.
I was like, McDermott would have buried him somewhere under the rock pile if had he done that in that situation.
That's what he was doing.
But what choice did KC have if they take him out?
That's also a great point.
What choice do they got?
Who else were they going to put out
can
there?
they put in there?
Who they put in when James Cook fumbled?
Murray.
Yeah, but the Chiefs ain't got Murray is a viable alternative.
Murray is a guy that just got benched for a practice squad player who just got cut off the practice squad.
Yeah, but this is before let James Cook took off though.
No, I'm talking about this. Well,
because remember we said when he took off, if he fumbled again,
he got angry.
Yeah. The Eagles
right
game was like,
there.
no, you can't bench him.
I can't afford to take you out. So
no. The point must be proven. The point must be he benched
To what
Devin
degree?
Singletary for Frank Gore. He benched no. This is what he's done, people. This is what he's done.
That's not the point though. What Mac is saying is who else was he going to replace him with? Like the Bills have had guys that can come in and replace James Cook. Like not saying that they are going to be better than James Cook, but they've had guys that can come in and function in the offense.
You punishing me for
Similar.
not knowing roster. So give me a second to rebuttal.
all right, Rice, get out of here.
Right.
MVS, get in there.
Yeah, right.
Miko, let's go.
Right. Nicole
There you
Hardman
go.
gonna
Matter
go
of fact, there you go. Prove a point. Look, he sucks. This could have been you. Got him.
Ain't no got him. Like you really think Andy Reid is dumb enough to make his team suffer like that?
When I got Travis Kelce, his ball's going to him anyway. I could put Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show on there. And it would be the same thing.
Put Beetlejuice in.
What, me? No, I'm just chilling.
You know what's funny?
I bet you Beetlejuice will still get a pass thrown his way.
Oh yeah.
You
You know what's funny?
Huh.
This whole show we've mentioned McDermott, we've mentioned Joe Brady, we mentioned Spags, we mentioned Andy Reid,
Special teams.
We ain't do that yet. Wait. We ain't do that yet.
We did.
Nobody, not even Rich, had brought up KC's offensive coordinator. Why is that?
Who is it? Andy Reid?
Nope. Matt Nagy. Why have nobody brought his name up?
Because he sucks.
Because he's irrelevant.
Yeah, basically.
So, and to A's point, which
Come on.
to his offensive point,
Come on.
we know all those offensive coordinators in the playoffs. We can name them by name,
100%.
except for Kansas City.
No, you can't because you just did it.
And you mean to tell me?
You just did it.
Tell me
This is
Hold on. Did you know who it was though before he
I
said
don't
it?
know who half of them are.
That's the
I know
point.
Joe Brady
That's
and what's his
That's
name again?
the point.
But everybody know Ben Johnson, Bobby Slowick. Like those are
Exactly.
I
names.
forgot about them.
Those are names that everybody know, right?
I forgot about
Nobody mentioned Matt Nagy.
Right. What are your head
my
coach?
point is, if this team is really dangerous, don't you think his name would have been brought up at some point in the conversation?
100%. They ain't talking about him. They talking about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, see, that's
and
my
as
thing,
Rich just chimed in, because he's trash. Because he's trash.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's my thing. That and this is not trying to go against your point, but that was what I was getting at when I said, Joe Brady goes, Josh Allen's the offensive coordinator. I mean, 6 years into, you know what you like, you know your guys, and the guy that comes in to be the guy that's going to be your offensive coordinator listens to me now. Because I run the show. I've been in this system for 6 years. I've been in two systems that are pretty much the same for 6 years. Yeah. This is what we're going to do. Come to my house. Let me show you some tape. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. If Josh Allen goes down, yeah, we're in trouble. And
then to your point, Key, too, with the weapons that we have and the dynamic offense that we got, like you said back in the day, our offensive coordinator would love to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I could do with this quarterback, this wide receiver, this tight end, this running back. Like, I might as well, if I want to be a head coach, come to Buffalo, do our offensive coordinator, and
every
then
single one gets head coaching jobs.
I can see Bill Belichick put on a blind wig and come in here.
Okay, so this brings me to a very interesting point.
Special teams?
Yes. The kickers.
No. In fact, we gotta go soon. Anyway,
no, we don't. No.
Bring up the kickers.
Get a kicker sub.
Bring it up. Punters.
This brings me to a very interesting point, not related to special teams. Brian Daboll is not doing so well in New York.
No.
Right? He's getting a lot of criticism. People are calling him a overbearing ogre, and they're talking about how he just does not have a great relationship with his staff right now. They all want to leave. He's not getting along with the players anymore like he used to. If he becomes available after leaving the Giants, do you think there's a space for him at One Bills Drive again?
He would never come back here.
I don't think he will ever come back here. Only because he's proved that he was a elite head coach. Offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. They gave him a head coaching job. So the one thing that you got to give when you give head coaches, he's never been a head coach before. So this is his first time. Like, people expect, like, all right, he's good, so I need him to perform good, and like I want the results immediately. It takes time to build a good team.
He didn't build his team.
A dynasty. He didn't have enough time to build his team. So in my mind, I don't think that he'll ever go back to the offensive coordinator until it's proven that he's a bad head coach.
Right. And I think Daboll would. And this is just me speaking of hyperbole, but I think he'd rather be a head coach at UB than he ever would be to step foot in One Bills Drive again for obvious reasons. As long as McDermott's here, I don't think he would ever be in the same presence as McDermott again.
Okay, so here let me see if I can attack that word ever.
Yeah, that's one of them words.
If we let's say Brian Daboll becomes available, right? Do we take the chance? That he goes to the Jets? That he goes to, I don't know, New England? That he goes to, I don't know, Kansas City? Do we take that chance at him going to one? I mean,
okay, I'll attack your attack. It takes two to tango.
Counter.
He has to agree to work with McDermott. McDermott has to agree to hire him. So
you don't think after the Tyler Dunn report that Sean McDermott is in a position to understand the mistakes that he made in that relationship?
Do you think Daboll cares? And I'm being serious.
Right.
I think he does. I think he does. No, I do. Here's why. Because I think Daboll is realizing now the type of pressure that Sean McDermott faced as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, mind you, Sean McDermott has had a much more insulated run as a head coach here in Buffalo, little old Buffalo. No disrespect to Buffalo, for being small, but we are as a small market team, right? And Daboll having to contend with a big market team in the Giants and not being that great and getting all that pressure and all the news and all the media focus on him to the point where he's 2 years in and it looks like he's about to be fired. Like, I think Brian Daboll is at a point now where he's being humbled. I think that points to two guys who have been humbled by their experiences, understanding the magic that they had together. Is there a world that exists where those two could sit down, have a tough conversation, and sing kumbaya at the end of that and say, let's get the gang back together?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think their personalities are alpha males. Like Dable had a head coaching spot, right? I just can't see
I'm
him
not
going back to
the
not a head
same,
coach.
And the same place I just was that I wasn't a head coach.
Yeah.
But see, my thing is,
Don't-
you call my mama hoe, I'm never gonna forget you call my mama hoe.
The only guy that I seen work was McDaniels.
That's because Belichick he ushered him in. He used his pull to get him a job. He sucked. Come on back, my boy.
Right.
I mean, the guy left the head coaching job the day that he took it to go back once.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
that tells you he was a yo-yo. He already had it in his mind. Dable was like, I'm out. I got family there. I'll come, like Colby usually said, I'll come back to visit only. Yeah. I just don't see a world where somebody like Brian Dable would ever come back and work under the boss. That
If he comes
had before.
back, it'll be for a head coach.
Yeah. Or if he came back with McDermott gone.
Yeah.
Rich writes in, you seen the exchange when we beat the Giants earlier this year.
That too. that part.
Dayball won't because of King McDermott.
Wait, what Rich said that? Rich? McDermott for Commissioner Rich?
Yes.
Wow, that's the truest thing you ever said.
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not the realest thing he's ever said, especially the King McDermott part. Like, just,
No, I'm talking about the other part.
Y'all giving this man
'Cause
way too much credit.
No, he's McDermott. He thinks McDermott can do all. So
Yeah, he
and
thinks
that-
McDermott can fly for some reason. I don't know where that comes from.
well, I mean, you bought a plane ticket, but
Oh my god!
you didn't say he had
is
wings.
not a
You
show
didn't
for
say he
dad
could
jokes,
jump.
Keyshawn.
You didn't say
not
say
a
none
show
of these
for that.
things. All you
We can
said
do some
was,
shorts
and
later
I
on,
quote,
and you can read off some dad jokes then, but
Ooh.
not right now.
Had a little the hi hats on the drum kick too.
You know what? If y'all want to see that, put it in the chat. I guarantee we will definitely do that. I don't know what's happening right now.
Oh, you don't know about that for real?
No,
I'm about to find it.
No,
I got you.
Okay, show your dad.
When I find out, I'll send it to you.
Oh, I know. I just gotta find it on my IG.
Trying to organize things. I feel like my house is a mess right now.
It's a mess.
I don't know
but-
what's
It's
going
a big
on.
mess.
But the people gonna love it. If you like this content, let us know. We like to add some humor
Yeah.
in here too. But no, I
right.
to your point, seriously, I think that if I was Dable, man, and my ship hasn't sailed. I didn't work out in New York. Right. But Arthur Smith.
You think he's gonna be able to get another head coaching job after this? I sincerely doubt.
Hey,
it.
listen. If Frank Wright did,
Absolutely.
they will definitely can.
Absolutely. After one, if he
Yeah,
got
no,
fired after
I
one
don't know.
season,
No, Frank Reich's tenure in Indy was way better than Brian Daboll's tenure in New York the first year and the second year. It was way better.
Yeah, but
The only
who was
thing
his-
that I
who was
think
his
got Frank
quarterback?
Reich in trouble was he couldn't find a quarterback that would play the way a quarterback could play.
And Brian Dable had Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones and
quarterback.
Ty right. No,
on
don't
top
gloss
of that,
over
on
it.
top of that, the worst decision ever, they paid Daniel Jones.
Well,
Like,
they
to
give him
me,
a
that's
huge
more of an
contract.
indictment.
They give him that Ed Oliver kind of contract. That kind of
Listen, Ed Oliver worked out. I don't know what happened with Daniel
Well,
Jones.
Ed Oliver did work out, but they had to do something. They gave Tyrod a chance. Okay,
Listen,
okay, and they got Tommy DeVito.
If that don't bump him back down to OC, I don't know what will.
I don't think it do. I really don't.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fair.
I think he still got some shots at head coach.
Yeah, I think he got to stop.
All right.
Now, if he keeps doing this 3-4 years, like Dan Campbell before he blossomed. Okay, I get it. Now you're going to write a Bill O'Brien, and you're going to college and be in the same position in college you were in the pros.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and close the show out.
No, we're not. So anyway, so special teams. All right.
The kicker.
Dang it.
Now, know how I pile on Stan Martin? I say he's trash as hand time. I recant that statement because one Mr. Matt Hack,
He's worse.
this man is barely 4 seconds of hang time.
Yeah, he's far worse. Yeah.
Barely 4 seconds.
Wow.
Now keep in mind the average is 4.4. That half a second might not sound like much, but trust me, when you kick the ball on a line, and this is my argument with punt guard. If you punt it a mile, but it doesn't leave the ground, if you're crop dust and everything, it does me no good. I need the guy to come down I need him to come
Crowd
down
dusted.
and look for the ball. I need him to track it in the air, find it while my guys run down. I don't want him to watch the thing coming right to his face, catch it off his numbers, and take off past everybody.
I'm going there. I'm gonna block there. I'm gonna
Right.
spin there, and
He's pointing at everybody laughing. Thought you had me.
Yeah.
So I need Sam Martin to play this game. And
Let's
it's not
go,
even-
Martin.
Yeah, it's not a guarantee. McDermott said it's day to day right now. He says it's possible.
However, I will say this:
Mm.
this is a game where I'll feel comfortable that they don't punt at all.
So Sam Martin it is. Don't put Matt Hack in it. I call him. I think it's supposed to be Hawk, but I don't really care. He's a hack.
You heard what the man said.
No punts.
Don't punt at all.
But Mel called it last time. What did he say? He said we were going to have, what do you say, 2 punts
In the 20.
inside the 20. What did we do?
The punt
We punted the ball where?
in the 20.
Inside the 20. Mel is a genius. I rest my case. Not really, because I'm not done.
That's it's funny you mentioned the punt guy. Rich writes in special teams. We need to sign back the punt guy.
Rich, you had me. I was on your side. I was there.
Yes!
But not anymore. I was
Yes!
there. I was there. I was there.
Then he says we giving everyone else a chance. Why not?
Hey, I mean, nah.
Okay, now you need to start writing in about Matt Ariza every single episode. Now you gotta get on that side.
Only in
now.
the same comment as Sean McDermott. But who's returning kicks? Who's going to return kicks this week? Lindsay didn't come in this week, but
yeah, where is Lindsay? Lindsay, where you at?
she might watch later. She'll comment and like the film
Okay,
later.
Locked Rain, where you at?
She actually texted me a while ago, but she must have been
Get
busy.
on the
Actually,
chat.
I think she might be. She might have watched.
Oh,
it.
now?
Might have flipped it off.
Rich writes in, watch how this game is on Bass' leg in the last seconds. I actually think like my score prediction takes that into account. I think it is going to be a scenario like that.
What is it?
He said, watch how this game is on Bass' leg in the last seconds.
I say last seconds Mahomes interception.
Wow. So you think it's going to be a redemption for 13 seconds?
Yes.
14 seconds. It's going to be
14
17 seconds.
Oh my God.
Because of Josh. It's cliche. Hey, you want to go?
Hey, yes. Rich writes in, Matt Ariza for Prince.
Okay, so McDermott's still the king. So
You gotta give me something better, Rich. I'm dying out here. I'm dying, man.
no. I mean, y'all like to give me y'all ruin my day with talking about how scripted this thing is. So let me script it for you. 17 seconds. Josh Allen runs down the field and scores a touchdown. The 17-second game, 17 does it. No timeouts left. They hoist him up on their shoulders and carry this man up the field. Yes, in a proportion that you'll never see. 18 people will tear down the goalpost only on the west end, and then
You can't do that.
That will give me a heart attack.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like I might
So
die
basically,
watching that game.
You're just telling me in the fourth quarter, 17 seconds left, we're losing.
Right at home, exactly.
and they got 17 points.
What, Keyshawn? What are you doing? Do you understand what you're doing right now?
Wait, it's
Like
Chris.
you're tearing a hole in the time-space continuum.
Chris, if you're watching this, cover your ears. I'm about to take them on a journey. So
No. I don't want to go on any more journeys with you.
Are you
with
afraid?
this scenario, huh?
are you afraid?
Do you? No. I don't think you understand what you're doing. If we win this game in 17 seconds, do you understand what the Chiefs are going to hold over us?
Yep.
You know I'm gonna hold over them.
We beat y'all in 13 seconds, and
You know
y'all
what?
took 4 more to beat us.
you know I'm gonna hold over them.
What?
Sean Hockley. Thank you, brother. Because he missed the hold call that sprung Josh Allen for the touchdown score. Happened right in his face. Sean Hockley.
Dude, this kind of plays into
What is happening right now?
this. It's funny you said that, Key, because when we do that, it plays into my prediction.
What you got?
No, we ain't there yet. We ain't
Okay.
there yet.
Oh yeah, we gotta do the pick from the other team. Okay, all right.
Yeah, we still got a few things to do. Really quick before we jump into that, Rich writes in, Kadarius Toney drops a punt return or does something else to mess up the game again.
Yeah,
I
scores
think
a
he's
touchdown.
good for it.
He scores a touchdown. That's gonna mess the game up.
I think it's in his head. I think
He's gonna score a touchdown for us.
That's gonna rip a hole in the time space continuum right there.
Anything that comes out of your mouth right now is ripping a hole in the universe. Just stop.
I've done it.
Just stop.
I've accomplished my goal. What I've come here to do.
Just come here to wreck shop and chew gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Oh man, I got one more bag.
All right. So let's jump into. You want to do who you got first, or you want to do predictions?
We can do who you got or who you take.
Oh, I'm
right.
not gonna take the punter.
The kicker.
Tommy Townsend. TT.
He did it last week. I couldn't believe it.
I don't think he like who else are we gonna take off of the Steelers? Like really, honestly.
I mean, okay, we're not gonna take some low hanging fruit. They got. Oh no, that's not him.
I already
Who's
know
Michael
who I
Kareem?
want.
Take two.
We done pick two?
Take two.
All right, first one's easy. I gotta take him. Sorry, Karlaftis all day. All
Really?
day.
Okay, I'm gonna take
George
somebody else then.
Karlaftis
Hold
all
on.
day.
Go ahead.
You were gonna take Karlaftis?
Actually, he was one of my two.
Bro,
Wow.
to me that's a no-brainer. I'm taking him off rip. No-brainer. Second one. He reminds me of a Taron Johnson, but bigger.
A what?
A bigger Taron Johnson. Give me Drew Tranquil.
Really?
Yep.
The safety?
He's
linebacker.
He's a linebacker, but like you said, he's in coverage like that. Like
Is he?
they
is
kind of
he
use him like Taron Johnson.
like a Bernard
Like
size
you would
dude?
take him over Willie Gay and another kid they got?
So Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. I do like Willie Gay, but Bolton,
Wow.
to me he's a better Dorian Williams.
Okay, Mel, you're done. No, I'm joking.
He's a better Dorian Williams.
I'm done with you, man. You did okay. I gotta find two more people now.
Did that take the other dude too?
No,
Oh,
you
I'm about to say.
just poo pooed on my other guy. You poo pooed on Nick Bolton, man. Meh. That dude is savage in the middle.
He is savage in the
only-
middle. Both those linebackers are, man. Jeez.
Only because I know like he's not a coverage guy.
But if you flank him with Milano and Bernard,
But we don't use three linebackers.
we could
We could.
if you get rid of Taron Johnson for him. No,
But nah, you can't get rid of Taron Johnson, man.
I mean he's in concussion pro. Can I have my fantasy right now? Nah, I get it.
You've already created around us with your
I
statements
have
before.
an alternate reality.
Yeah, this is your world right now.
But
Yes.
but that would be my reasoning. Like I like him, he's good, but he can't. He's not a pass guy. He can't coverage.
I just want to see Nick Bolton just take somebody's dome off.
T writes in, hell yeah, we afraid we need a 20-point lead. Yo, you need a 20-point lead. I listen, Keyshawn's get your boy T. Get your boy.
Nope.
Cause he over here setting up scenarios to give everybody in the city a heart attack instantly.
That's right.
Man.
But we still won though. It's fine. The ones that survive
In
will see
17
us.
seconds,
The
and then
one
we
that
got to
sur-
look every Chiefs fan in the face, and they can smirk all day long. We beat y'all in 13. We beat y'all in 13.
I don't care if they beat us in 13. We beat them. We beat them.
Like we don't hold nothing over them at that point.
We
Yeah,
hold
we
the
do
dub.
because they beat us in 13, but they lost the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Matter of fact, they didn't even make it to the Super Bowl.
And I would say big dubs because I was here. They lost to the Bengals.
They lost to the Bengals.
Big
So
dubs.
yeah, we beat y'all in 13 seconds.
I'm
But
like-
y'all couldn't get it done.
I'm like,
against the
who'd you beat in the
Bengals.
Super Bowl in 13 seconds?
Oh, that's
I
right.
forgot.
You
That's
wasn't
right. You were
there.
watching it with us.
And if we win in 17 seconds and then win the bowl,
See, I need T to write in every single episode. She said he tripping. He is tripping. You right. You right. You right. Ain't no way around that. He tripping.
But she
You
liked
tripping.
when I tripped though.
Huh?
She meant that in a good way.
What's a good way of tripping?
There
T,
is no good way of
explain.
tripping.
T,
There is no
T,
good way of tripping.
What's a good way of tripping?
Yes,
Because
it
I
is,
don't know.
because the new kid.
it's not.
What are we on? Generation Z or something like that now? They use
Kid.
everything backwards.
Kid.
So they say cap and tripping is good.
No, no.
Don't worry about it.
No,
He
tripping.
does. He knows not what he's talking about.
Don't worry
He
about
knows
it.
not know what he's talking about.
That little wave off.
He's not hit with.
That
He's not
little
hit with
wave
his own
off
people.
looks that looks a little baby boomerish.
Hold on.
That looks a little baby boomerish. Yo, you waving off the young folk. Ah.
I know more.
I hope so.
Tripping and cap are not the same thing. Tripping is just like it's in a bad. There's no bad or good way about tripping at all.
Tripping would be the equivalent to tweaking. Am I right?
Yes.
Right. You tweaking. You tweaking, bro.
You can't say, "Am I right?"
Huh?
That makes you sound old. Am I right?
I'm confirming with my younger cohort whether or not one piece of verbiage is equivalent to another.
I do like how they flipped the capping word Because remember back in the day for us, was capping was.
Yeah.
Man, you capping to a chick, man. You trying to get digits, boy. You trying to get up in there.
Now everything is backwards. Everything
know.
It is
I know.
backwards, man. Everything.
Man, that's
backwards.
cap. Who you talking to?
What?
Right. Like,
Trying to get. What you
I
mean
remember
it's
the
cap?
first time I heard somebody say that, yo, you capping. Wait, what?
To who?
To who? Right, exactly. To who? Oh my God.
So basically, like, we didn't start saying capping until we started hearing other people say it. Cause
Like, where'd y'all get that from, though?
so-
They probably heard her old head did it, and it just
Okay,
flipped
so originally we would just say, oh, like oh, you're lying, but then like my generation we started hearing like the word cap, and I was confused what cap was until I was told it was like, oh, it's basically saying you're lying. Like, you know, if you got like a cap on or if you got a hat on, it means you're lying. Like, you're not, you know, you're not telling the truth.
So we all lying right now?
Basically.
This whole show's been a
You
lie.
got capping
No,
hard.
but
And you not, Mac? He said both of y'all.
I got the poofy hat.
He said ain't no cap on me,
but-
bro. It's a knit.
No,
It's a knit.
but it all kind of depends on on what you say. So if Key was to say something that you thought was wrong, and you know the answer, he's wrong because you know he's capping, he's lying.
Right,
'Cause
right.
You know the answer.
Listen, Christina said y'all so old. Hey, back up. Take a step back.
Right?
T on my side, man.
T says, love you, Key, but come on, we want easy, not a heart attack. Listen, I want to be able to get up and go get some more dip during the game and not feel like I'm a miss, everything.
I don't even eat during the game. I just have my Labatt's right there, my little cooler right here. Right next to the couch. My Labatt's cooler is right there. It's coming out again. I'm not moving.
Yeah, but that's because before the game, you got like a whole steak dinner planned out. Like
I have it, but I don't eat it till after though.
Oh my God.
I wait. Can't eat on that stomach.
Can't watch the game on that stomach.
Wow. I mean, that should tell you a lot about your scenario.
Yeah.
Like if you already can't watch the game with food in your stomach and you talking about we gonna win in the final 17 seconds of
That's
that game,
why I don't eat.
like you might not eat the rest of the night.
I'll be fine once I see him hoist him up on his shoulders and walk him off the field.
All right, who you taking, bro? Who you taking?
I was about to segue back. I'm done taking cornerbacks. I do like Legere Sneed. I'm not taking him.
Stop, Ridge. Stop. Go ahead. We'll get to his comment in a second.
I know. No, I'm thinking. I'm still gonna.
Okay, well, why are you thinking?
No,
Rich writes in Aramis capping on McDermott's success.
Fine choice, my friend. I'm gonna go Willie Gay just because I like Willie Gay and what he can do in the pass and pass rush game. Pretty much 3 facets of the game. And give me Creed Humphrey, the center. Okay, that was
You got
yours.
me. No. Go ahead. I'll go somewhere else now. Go ahead.
Okay,
So you got Creed Humphrey and you got who else?
Willie Gay.
Willie Gay. Who you swapping out?
You can get up all Dorian Williams, and they can have Connor McGovern back. They can have him.
They ain't gonna
They
take
can have
Dorian
him.
Williams.
Huh?
They ain't gonna take Williams.
I don't care where he goes.
It don't matter.
I don't care where he goes.
You take
I
him.
push the override button. It's over
You
with.
take what we give you.
Right. And smile.
And smile. Right. Let me see. All right. So I am going to go with Harrison Butker. No, I'm just playing. I'm gonna go with.
You go ahead.
Nah. No, I'm gonna go with.
Be a menace.
Man, this is kind of a tough one. Thinking about the players that we have, but I think I'm gonna go with Trent McDuffie. I would like to see him come in and be a number 2 corner for us. This also allows me to play man coverage. I can put Christian Benford at safety next year. I can start Elam next year at corner. And actually I don't have to if I got Rasul Douglas.
Right.
So either way, I think I like Trent McDuffie. I think he's already an All-Pro at nickel. So I like his development. I like the way he plays. And then Nick Bolton is my second one. I love his coverage ability. I think his speed, his tenacity. He's great at reading plays. He's everywhere on the field. Like wherever the ball is, that's where he's at. It's kind of weird, but he's that type of dude. I was thinking about taking Chris Jones, especially with him being in the last year of his contract, but we already have a penetrator, and I don't want to pay that kind of money to two guys on our defensive line. I can't do it. So,
and your prediction?
I got Bills 27-17.
Ooh.
Now, I have the reverse 17 seconds. I think we're going to be up 27-17. Mahomes is going to try a last-ditch effort to come back. He's going to try to score the touchdown and then the field goal to go to overtime like he did last time. But, however, I think while he's driving down the field in the game, interception. Game over.
I love it.
It's going to be a 17-yard attempt.
17-yard attempt at 17 seconds.
Or is he going to scramble and hit 17 miles an hour?
There's a black hole opening up behind me, bro. Like, please stop. This whole set is about to be destroyed.
Okay. I got wow. I got the Bills going. They have to score more than 30 points in order to win this game.
I agree with that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I got them going 31-28.
What?
Nah,
28 on us?
38-28. That's what I got them going.
Wow.
yeah. I think they're going to have certain plays that are going to get big chunks in this game. I do think we have I've said we have the potential to dominate this team, but the way that the way that the Bills have played in the past against this team, and even in the at the end of the game when Mahomes is driving in Kansas City this year, you could still see Sean McDermott tightening up on defense, not playing press coverage the way that he was, not blitzing the way that he was earlier in the game, which is what kept pressure on Mahomes the whole game. He did something different on the last drive. My hope is that Sean McDermott has learned his lesson since then and will choose to just do what works throughout the entire game. Just do what works. If you're already up by a touchdown or 10 points as a result of what you've done in the game, just keep doing that on the last drive. And if they beat you, they beat you. You gave your best effort after that. But what I don't want to get caught up in is, well, we didn't want to give up the big play. We didn't want to give them an opportunity to score in 5 seconds and get the ball. Don't think about the worst possible. Think about the best possible. And the best possible is you just staying consistent and the whole thing working out the way that it has for the first 3 quarters. The first three, the first 3 quarters and 3 quarters of the fourth quarter. So my prediction is, if we can do that, I think the Bills are going to dominate this game. I think we're going to score 31, and I think the Chiefs are going to score 20. I think they'll get 20. I think this will be an 11-point game, but I don't think it's going to be as close as the score indicates. It's probably going to be a little bit closer throughout the game than what the Steelers game was, but I think in the second half the Bills are they're going to pull ahead and they're going to stay ahead. I think that's where they're at. Rich writes in 38-10 Bills. The Chiefs will be stumped by McDermott's brilliance. You had me right up until stumped by.
If they can hold me home to 10 points, everyone.
Hey, listen, them boy, Casey can't score.
Yes, Casey's only scored 19, 20 points a game. Like if
I
you
get that, but I'm looking at things through a little bit of a different lens. I mean, I don't know. There's something.
You
about,
see the game from a defensive coordinator's perspective anyway.
No.
You're a
No,
defensive
actually,
guy.
I don't this time.
Really?
Yeah. I think that Andy Reid is gonna devise something. He's gonna pull something, especially if our defense is banged up as it sounds like it is. I think he's gonna devise a plan to pick that apart, and he has the right quarterback that can do that. Does it? So I mean, maybe they won't score 28, but I do think we need to score 31 in order to win this game.
Okay. I mean, I think we all agree that the Bills are going to score points, and really, it is for all intents and purposes a very unconventional thinking process because Chiefs got the number 2 defense in the league and people just don't score that much on them. But what was the score when we beat them?
2017.
Right. So we can easily drop another 20. Like that offense that we had in that at that period of time, just from a standpoint of the progression of the Joe Brady changeover compared to now, I think we can drop 30 on them boys, no problem. If we did 20 with just that little bit of change,
Right.
we can drop 30 on them boys at home.
At home.
I don't see no issue with that whatsoever. None.
I cannot see them getting 4 touchdowns on us at home. I can't see it. Man.
No, we ain't.
Has anybody did that this year?
4 touchdowns?
At home against us?
No. You know how much work we'd have to give up for that? you know how much work we had to give up for that? Nah, that ain't happening. We only lost 1 game at home all season.
And that was the 12th minute on the field.
Right.
Is it time for my favorite part?
It's time for your favorite part, bro.
Ooh.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
If you hearing that music, it's time. It's a sign that this is the end of the show.
90 seconds.
And I got 90 seconds to get us up out of here. So, with that being said, Post Podium Podcast is everywhere that you can check on a social media platform. Check us out, okay? I will start putting the links in the description. That way you don't have to go typing stuff in or whatever. I'll try to make it as easy as I possibly can to go check us out. Follow, like or whatever you do on whatever platform you like. With that being said, man, clap it up again, fellas. We hit 100 views on our last episode. If we can continue to get that on a regular basis, we gonna be where we want to be, which is getting all these comments and this interaction with you guys on live TV somewhere, bigger and better than the studio. Anyway,
This is a nice studio.
yeah, I do what I can. Anyway, with that being said, we appreciate y'all so much. None of this is possible without y'all to begin with, right? Because we would literally just be doing the same thing that we do every day, which is get on the phone and text about this stuff. And the fact that you guys watch and you engage, it's a blessing. I'm gonna just say that it's a blessing to me. So anyway, I have now taken more than my 90 seconds. And Keyshawn is smiling over there behind the TV that he's hiding his lower half of his face behind.
Wasn't even smiling, see? For once.
But you are now, so I win. So okay. Anyway, listen. The next milestone from here. What did you say?
Punt God.
Punt God. Yeah. The next milestone from here is we need to get to 100 subscribers. Okay, we're
200.
close. We're close. We need to get to 100.
200.
I just want to get to 100 first.
200.
Okay, 200. Yeah, I don't doubt. I'm 200 is good. Let's get to 100. So, like Keyshawn likes to say, each one, reach one, teach one, speech one, seach one. Whatever. How
Like,
you
comment, share, subscribe, and make that thing
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
ring-a-ling-a-ling.
There you go. Love it. All right. With that being said, this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis,
Your boy Melly Mac.
and
This is Keith.
that's it, baby. We out.
See you Victory Monday.